and gentlemen, history will be made here today as we start VCT Americas. The journey begins for both of these teams. Sentinels versus 100 Thieves, two clouded organizations, lots of fans anticipating this one, and the pressure definitely on all of these players on the stage, Mimi.
Absolutely. This is a classic matchup, but this time it's with new rosters, it's with changes, but it's with those same pressures. And for the first time, this rivalry will be played in front of a North American crowd, which makes it so exciting.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, we've been doing the Valorant for so long, and we haven't really had opportunities to do VCT events out here in the States. And now here we are. We got a crowd. We had an awesome, what is it? The block party.
The block party
That was sick out there.
Cool
like,
people.
yeah, it was fantastic.
Look
at all those beautiful people in there. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to hear you guys. I want to make sure you can hear you guys lose your mind. Give him a gun. Oh yes, give him a gun. Give him a
I heard Riot actually added that today. The patch notes. You should go read those,
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I say why not? If you're able to drop the spike or give the spike to the wingman, why not give him an up, dude?
Yeah,
let him
understandable.
shot mid.
The Cypher cam bug, which also was a thing that was revealed today on April Fool's as well, what they were saying. I don't even know if that's going to be pushing the game. I don't know.
Oh man, well this is it, guys. 100 Thieves, Sentinels, about to take to the field here as they play against one another in our first match of VCT Americas. Lots, on the line here for both of these teams because this is it. It's historical. You don't want to be the team that loses the first match of VCT Americas.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the ropes, maybe.
Yeah, I also think there's a lot of expectation of this kind of being the match that crowns the second best team. Not a lot of people putting faith in EG. A lot of people putting faith in Energy. So for both these teams, getting this early win is big, and it starts out with a Haven ban by Sentinels.
Yeah, the map bans as well. Definitely one side of things that I'm going to be intrigued to watch because it's going to be. With Sentinels, they didn't play many matches at all. They only played the one at lock-in. They haven't revealed too much, but Fracture is going to be that first pick for Sentinels, which makes some semblance of sense, I think, as well, because the last time we saw this, I believe 100 Thieves ended up, losing in a pretty one-sided fashion when they did end up playing it, and Split gets picked as well, which also I think does make some level of sense with the Sentinels kind of trying to get to grips in terms of what they're playing with their roles on this particular map. Both good openers, I think, for both these teams.
It feels like kind of a reversal. Last time that we saw Sentinels on Fracture, they were playing like a Neon Jet comp at the Ludwig Tarek Invitational. They wanted to stay away from it at lock-in. And for 100 Thieves as well, this is a map that their opponent has picked in the past. It has historically, for dephh as an IGL, been a really strong map for him, but Sen has struggled on it thus far. The last two bans coming through, it looks like we are going to be ending on Ascent.
I think it's a bit of a banger map, honestly, as well. Yeah, and Ascent is going to be a good one to go to, honestly. I think for 100 Thieves in particular, if they start putting Cryo, one of the things we were talking about is, like, will he be playing more into that primary duelist where he's going to be flexing on his jet in particular? Ascent is a map where you can really flex that if we end up going to that map number 3.
Yeah, but we are starting off at Fracture, and I think this is a map that has a lot of room for innovation for both of these teams to try something new. I think we'll get a lot of our questions answered of who's leaning into that primary duelist role for both of these squads. How are they going to define their style? Is it off the mid-rounds? Is it off the preset executes? We're going to learn that here.
And this is where I'm interested.
Yep. Yeah. This is where I'm interested. We got our agent select here. We'll see what Cryo ends up locking in. We'll see what Zekken ends up locking in. Lots of opportunities here.
Okay, yeah, we're seeing changes across the board. These roles is what I was really interested in for them because I didn't like 100 Thieves Fracture comp in the past. And they've got Cryo on the jet as well. Okay, so I love this. This is what we were talking about from top to bottom. And the double duelist is going to be played here with TenZ and Zekken. You're putting these guys in their comfort roles as well. I like the changes on both sides for both of these teams.
Yeah, putting both Zekken and TenZ on comfort roles is going to be great for the Sentinel squad. What's interesting is Sacy is switching to controller. pANcada is playing on the Sentinel this time, which is quite a surprising changeup.
Yeah, this is, if you would have told me, look at all those beautiful people out there, but if you would have told me that this is, like we would have been getting this, I would have been so excited because I know that it's going to lead to an exciting matchup, but we're all set. So let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters. You know them, you love them, and they're bringing that dad energy. It's Doug and Balla, baby.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yes, indeed. For the very first time in VCT America's history, from the Riot Games Arena, y'all look so good today. Let me hear you. Oh, baby, we've got an intergalactic clout bout between Sentinels and 100 Thieves. The stage looks sick. The teams are ready. Balla, I'm fired up, baby.
Yeah, bro. I'm so excited. It's the day of first, right? You already said it. First day of America's. First day for a crowd match on NA soil. First day we get to see these teams play against each other all year, and there's so much more to come. So kicking it off on Fracture, Sentinels and 100 Thieves.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm a little excited. I'm buzzing a little bit, you know?
And we've already got changes too. I mean, everybody was buzzing about changes to Sentinels, and look at this comp. It makes absolutely zero sense when you look at it from the preseason perspective with pANcada on Killjoy. But something's changed on both sides.
We'll see how 100 Thieves choose to play this out, as it's been a little quiet. There's a whole lot of presence towards A.
We got 4 players here from Sentinels. They are leaning away from pANcada's setup. 100 Thieves are going to walk into it, but they've smoked them up. They're going to be a full retake here.
So he's going to be the very first to land a kill. It's actually bang on to TenZ, no less. As first blood is drawn, the spike is going to go down. Numbers heavily in favor of 100 Thieves as Cryo gets another.
Those are shots through the smoke there, too. Very difficult to hit, but he makes it work. We were set up for a 5v5 retake, but that's not at all the situation. 5v3.
With so much to do, Cryo down to 7 HP.
Doesn't care.
Find a cheeky one. No, dephh drops him.
But look at all the time he bought for his team. Now they got the molly coming out. One more molly as well for Stellar, too.
The Turd could try to provide some cover as the fault line does a bit of the same. Asuna is able to drop the first, spike ticking down. And there's not a ton left, but that's the problem. I mean, gosh, if they get the kills, they're still going to have to get the defuse. He's gotten it to half. Derrek's going to have to swing. Oh, my gosh! Whoa! What a start that would have been!
Just ridiculous. And it's the 2 guys who are former teammates who got separated after the breakup of Ascent who are really making that round exciting. Ridiculous from zekken. But they're just not quick enough, losing all those players. Like I said, Cryo peaking all that time, spent so much. And it's not gonna matter at all. All those clean shots, that hurts.
Good for clips, though. 1 round in the books in favor of 100 Thieves. Sentinels choosing not to buy up here at all.
And Sacy's actually gonna be able to cheat an orb too. It's a good goal to have on these ecos. Reclearing in halls as well. They might get more than really they should on this eco. 100 Thieves is taking it very slow, just trying to feel out any stacks. Look at Stellar setup all the way on the north side. Just retrieving the info that he can, whether they're stacking anywhere, whether they're going to push anywhere in the mid round, and they did. They pushed all the way up in halls. I believe zekken might have gotten another orb there too.
See both teams just quietly crawling away from one another, as it seems like we're going to end at A yet again. Note again the gun difference, the gun advantage for 100 Thieves is monumental.
Yeah, they got a side advantage. Everything is going to be pretty easy. As the plant comes in, they're barely even going to hear it. They maybe hear the smokes and start rotating off of that, but there's, again, not going to be enough time for them to do anything with the weapon advantage that you're talking about.
Spike planted.
And that was clean from 100 Thieves, just feeling out what was going on the map. They didn't really get any information, but they end up making the right calls with Stellar's information.
dephh setting up for the fault line to try to give the other Sentinels members some space to work, some room to breathe. And it looks like Cryo is going to be the first on contact. And look at the setup that they have in halls, man. It's going to be so difficult to take this space back.
Yeah, but there's also only Cryo alone on the door, too. So if they're able to pick him off, looks like right now they just want to die to the spike without any real altercation. Although opening the door, this is very risky.
Yeah, they got the altercation, all right.
You saw 100 Thieves at lock-in was very, very much aware of how people want to just save and die to the spike and how people are exiting, and they do get some damage done, but I think as well there, they did exchange a lot of those ult orbs. So Sentinel's happy about that. 100 Thieves can't be mad either. Oh.
Yeah, how about that? Oh, happy birthday, Psycho.
He doesn't even know what just happened. He's all the way in the back. Bring him a cake later.
2-0 lead here for 100 Thieves.
This is gonna be fun.
Now guns in the hands of Sentinels. And it looks like they're gonna want to fight
Dish pretty early. Stun Dish, smoke as well. Saw Sacy's position. And they should be able to maybe even cheat another orb here for zekken to get a showstopper up very early.
That's the plan. You've got dephh close by with utility 2 to help.
Flash and dash possible.
Want to go. There's a nade. Cryo with the swing, and it's actually zekken who gets the duel. I mean, it wasn't an orb, but he got what he was looking
Stellar's
for.
out, though. They must have heard the door. TenZ's gonna have to try to clear it. But they've gotten sight again. The difference here, they get the first pick, Sentinels does, and they have multi-way retake going on. Love this, though.
Look at him pushing into spawn. Asuna's in a really good spot to help as well.
They might leave the planner alone. That's a little sketchy. But they have such a good grip on the spawn side. It's even planted in the open here.
There's a showstopper. The ult is gonna land. Sacy's able to get one as well as he swings around and drops Asuna. Bang's left alone in this 1v4, and he's able to pick up a weapon, but he's just not able to do anything with it.
Very nice. Management of the ult economy and also that retake. Just having Dish at your disposal instead of the pistol round where you saw everybody coming from that spawn side, even though they had a lot more control than they had there. Obviously, Sentinels was having to fight back through spawn. Not something you're used to, but they managed to work without the space. And that's because they have that ult. That's because they have multi places to actually push back through. So good on Zekken there, getting one and creating the space.
And Sacy was also instrumental in those 2 kills. You're talking about how uncommon it is to have to push through spawn to reestablish some of that space. He doesn't get those 2 kills, who knows, right?
Yep. And we have swapped. Now pANcada set up onto the A side now. And most of the time, I mean, all 3 rounds so far, 100 Thieves has leaned back towards A. Whether it's in the early round or late, they always pivot back. See if they are able to actually figure that out. Lots of times you can hear that turret early from Cryo's position. They're working a lot of picks here, giving Cryo full reign to just go for the first kills.
Oh, Sacy's position.
He's gonna get 2. He didn't spot TenZ. Zekken.
Huge response from Zekken, though. dephh getting another. Spike is in a bit of a precarious spot. deph's just able to stare it down.
Yeah, but the players actually, 100 Thieves, lost after that trade out. Bang, and Cryo, so the tip of the spear gone, but also the smokes. They used 2 to even get into that position. They don't really have much more to get through. They don't have anybody to really dive with the flashes.
Spike acquired, but where do you go from here? You go forward. That's exactly where you go. Zekken falls. And you saw TenZ was starting to rotate back, and as soon as that kill comes, he stays, and that's just going to call for the rotation.
But they didn't really realize here, the setup for pANcada is still going to be up. It's still going to be up. With 20 seconds, they're going to go into the meat grinder. And dephh has a stun too. No, he's all the way on the other side of the map, so they can't combo that. But one molly, all of a sudden you're stopped.
Oh yeah, time is a serious factor here. Now you've got the Rolling Thunder to try to push them back.
He missed it!
8 seconds left. Have they gotten up? No, TenZ may have stopped it. I don't think they're gonna have time. No, they're not.
Oh, dephh, don't die though.
But again, Balla, to go back to what you were saying, that molly, the setup from pANcada is just enough of a wrinkle in the plans to really set everything sideways.
And it's so far back that like you can't really do much to damage it unless you're taking hauls early.
Yeah.
So 100 Thieves with the jet pick that they're going for Cryo. You can see a little bit of the weakness. He kind of, in a sense, is forced to go for those kind of dry peaks with the kit that he has. He doesn't have the boombot. He doesn't have the nade to hold space. It's much, much more difficult to go for like a Halls push right at the beginning of the round. And Sentinels is continuously cheating on the setup of pANcada.
Even with 4 rounds in a row of 100 Thieves ending that way. Derrek's able to get one. You've got the blades online for Cryo too.
I mean, they're just taking that fight. That's the second time you've seen dephh peek that angle out of tower. This time, he's the guy who gets put down at the hands of Derrek. So they're recognizing where he's starting to peek from. Sacy's gonna have to fill that space, but no more stun on this, so the execute can come without any hindrance.
I've got your trail.
Seeker's invested. You got the zoomies to go to. And the nade, I believe that was intended to bounce off, but either way, not finding its mark. They're going to get their way out onto the site, but Zekken once again from up top drops Cryo. TenZ getting another as the line holds fast, the line holds strong. 2 pistols left for 100 Thieves.
Should have picked up that Phantom that Sacy had up in tower.
Yeah, bang, scooped it up.
Where was deph's gun?
It's tough to say. With 35 seconds left, they still have the spike in tow, but can they find a way out? Can they even get
30 seconds
to a position where they can plant the spike? TenZ providing all the suppressive fire he can.
TenZ will spot the cross. That's when there's going to be some extra util, and just huge from TenZ. The fact that they're able to fight while they're still pushing up in tower, while they're still clearing out Sacy there, is really, really important. Both zekken and TenZ finding picks over the smokes. That's huge. That was a low money buy from 100 Thieves, so this is going to be the gun round. TenZ has got the op now, though.
He also got the orbital strike for Sacy. You saw him use it first a couple of rounds ago. Now back online.
Yeah, he's getting those fast.
Yes, he is. Round 6, and he's already gotten through a second.
The other one must have been banged. No shot.
Either way, it looks like they're going to end A yet again. The op that you mentioned in the hands of TenZ on the opposite side of the map here, so not in play for now. But if they rotate back, because it seems like they are.
I think the problem here for 100 Thieves is on these calls that they're pivoting so fast, continuously they're just giving back up that space. They're not really leaving an alarm bot. They're not leaving a play or anything like that. So it's really difficult for them to re-rotate into it. Nice little aftershock to actually break the KJ util.
Yeah, but you didn't break TenZ. Still got the op. A smoke providing cover for now, but not for long. Asuna with a great trade, though. pANcada still up top on the tower, finds 2.
Spike down B.
And now Stellar's left by his lonesome.
Derrek spots him, they know where he's at. Gonna get smoked off too.
Yeah, sucky spot to be in for sure. He doesn't even have a spike, man.
Stellar has been pulling out some ridiculous things in the offseason and at lock-in too. But Zekken's gonna hunt him down. I mean, to be honest, Stellar was one of the more better performing players from 100 Thieves throughout the offseason and at lock-in too.
Yeah.
Just pretty consistent overall. That's huge. Again, just swapping pANcada's position so many times. And this time they have a little bit more feints too, with TenZ floating on his side, with zekken being there really early. They're understanding how to shut it down.
It's going to be another broken buy for 100 Thieves. They won the first 2, and it's been all Sentinel since. Bang with his ult to work with as well. But note here, I mean, blades aren't really a factor or anything like that. We got an early timeout coming through for 100 Thieves.
Mike's putting the brakes on very, very early. For good reason, I think, understanding how you're going to have to break through these setups and give a little bit more misdirection on what's coming from them, because I think most of the time Sentinels is getting the good read and getting the good rotate.
It also helps that, I mean, they're 2 studs, and zekken and TenZ are playing as well as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you lean into the double duelist too, you saw a little bit of that in the offseason from them. Kind of giving it up at lock-in and then now going right back into that. I think, hey, if it's your strength, let's go for it.
Again here, 100 Thieves get the first 2 rounds, and Sentinels has just really had their number ever since. This will be the second broken gun round, or broken buy round, excuse me, that we'll see out from 100 Thieves. And while there was some interest in how they handled the first, again, the blades aren't really in play here. They just don't have nearly as much to work with.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stingers.
Yeah.
Let's see though. First time they're gonna really take control of halls at the beginning. Actually, that flash isn't even a pop. You're gonna have to spend a dog to clear it. Already kind of a disadvantage there, but crowd dashing. Zekken knows his tricks.
TenZ having to drop to keep the angle with the op. The Cloud Burst is providing cover for now. Zekken's able to get one dash away.
Good movement.
Yeah, huge. It preserves his life, at least for now.
Still took a lot of damage.
Oh, there's the orbital strike that we were looking for. TenZ may be in trouble. Excuse me, it was Cryo who falls.
He actually got the op picked up, the TenZ drop, so he's not going to be. It's Asuna now who has it. That's it. I mean, that's a swing. That can all of a sudden make this really, really dangerous.
Stellar waiting. Just below them, the Stinger's only able to get one. Can the op find any value? First shot goes just a bit wide. Spike ticking once again, time because of factor. That high-low swing is just way too much to deal with. Asuna with too many options, too many targets, and not enough health to deal with any of it. Derrek can't do it either. dephh cleans up the round.
Tell it's been a minute since Asuna played that jet roll for 100 Thieves. Fortunately not in any of those shots. So begs the question, like, what would have happened if Cryo was alive with that? Because that guy was a monster last year with the weapon. It's funny though, TenZ really is the guy who's crushing it right now. He's buying it as many rounds as he can. And for good reason. The guy had, what, at lock-in, one of the highest, actually in America's the highest op KPR out of anybody in this league. Even Cryo had a significant dip.
Birthday boy's fired up.
I think he understood that could have been dangerous as soon as Cryo or TenZ went down. You actually could see as well, the adjustment from 100 Thieves is to actually keep Stellar with them on these executes. This time it might just because of the lockdown, they're potentially just gonna control underpass, go for a lockdown hit, but I'm seeing zekken already pushing in halls. You have TenZ actually holding the angle for him. Look at the caution here from 100 Thieves. Instead of clearing that with a body, having a dog all the way through, that dog is no longer used for clearing space that might be taken really fast back from the KJ ult. Oh, he's just getting locked down. Wait.
Yeah, a little bit of cover just on the other side. He should be okay. Not being pressured, not being pushed. You've got the rolling killer to end the showstopper. Zekken tries to get up high, tries to find some room to work with, and Derrek has no shot. No chance to get out.
TenZ on a late flank as well. He has knives, so don't have to worry too much about this op. They're really set up in post-plant positions right now. They've got a nanostorm too, so TenZ could spoil this entirely.
How patient is he going to be? Huge.
Double molly's out at this point too.
Here.
TenZ falls.
Ult from Bang. This round is wrapped.
Yeah, there's really just no way in. We'll see what Asuna can find. They draw at the ult. pANcada falls. This should be pretty clean the rest of the way.
Yeah, not even any more time left. Zekken's gonna get out. There you go. Just hitting at that site. I was surprised not to see Zekken join TenZ on that flank. He left really early with the showstopper and only finding one and not being able to maintain his life too with that showstopper. While the breach ult was going off, by the way. I think he might have missed his satchel, the original one. Still plenty of bank here for Sentinels. And 100 Thieves going back to switching Stellar up on that north side, so you can tell it was a lockdown call. They've got the breach ult too. Last time they breach ulted on the A side.
Stellar may be in trouble here. He's getting pushed from both sides.
Yeah, satchel in from Zekken.
I've got your trail.
He's out quick. And that's Asuna's ult right now, also pressuring on the A side. TenZ doesn't really have the room to get out. He just got stunned too. It's all Sacy.
Can he find any value? The first one through the smoke, but that's all it's going to be. Side has lost 100 Thieves. What can Sentinels do for a retake? That nade right to Asuna. He's got to back it up. The flash to try to keep them at bay, at least momentarily, at least temporarily, as the spike continues to tick.
Ooh. A lot deeper lockdown than normal. Breach ult coming in though. They're going to try to cancel it.
No, Derrek has a pocket he can play in.
But they're not breaking it yet.
He can just play back there. He's going to be safe. They're going to drop down onto Derrek, and yeah, Stellar's in trouble here. I don't know that he's going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, he doesn't have. Oh wait, they didn't stick. They didn't go to half right there.
This is huge from Stellar. Can he pull off the clutch? He's just trying to hold it back, but he's got to swing out. There's no way. Stellar gets 3. That was so close.
Got the defuse still though. That is ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Just not enough time though. You saw how long it took him to actually take that fight. He knew he had to get that kill in order to get the second, but yikes.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, you didn't even really know what was happening in that situation because it was so close.
We're talking fractions of a second.
Absolutely. I mean, it looked defused on the bar.
Yeah. Either way, Sentinel's hanging on to a 3-round lead here. TenZ still with the op. You've talked about this Killjoy setup a lot this time of today.
Yeah, just in terms of where it's at. Love the crowd reacting to so many people going on the rope right there. PTSD in the crowd.
Right there.
A slow push out from dephh. Stellar, the only one not close by. We'll see how they pop out of here. Again, they have a Guardian, they have a Stinger, and then pistols. Stellar's the only one with
they haven't cleared him yet.
A proper Vandal, and he's on the opposite side. Asuna getting the first.
How does that work? Zekken's still getting kills through the smoke, though. Actually, no, just through sand. It wasn't smoked off.
Note here again, the tools that Sentinels have to work with here. But that's a second rifle that's been picked up for 100 Thieves.
These situations are what has won 100 Thieves. The prior rounds.
Blades end off as kills go traded back and forth and back and forth. 2v2 left on the round. Stellar good for one.
Ultimate is ready.
deph's gonna have to clutch this one out on his own. And he doesn't have a lot of time.
Remaining.
But he's gotten it to a 1v1.
Oh.
Cryo's got a Stinger.
He put himself all the way up, too.
Come on, come on.
Can he swing out? He's so weak. dephh is so weak. He's got to at least hold half. Yeah, and Cryo calls it.
Takes down his former leader in dephh. Opportunities abound for both sides right now. Some of these rounds are real close, and they just don't quite go the way you expect. That one, though, easy for Cryo. I thought because he was on that close angle, it was going to be a little maybe easier for dephh to get off and maybe find that kill. The approach from 100 Thieves since that timeout for Mike's has been fully on the post plants, it feels like. They haven't really adjusted the setup or their defaults until now. 4 players down the north side. Stellar is the only one down south.
Once again, but the difference is this time Derrek is waiting for the flank on the northern side as well. The last couple of rounds, it's been a 4-1 where they're all pushing together.
I have to say, they're doing a really good job pushing TenZ off. Since the early rounds where he started to pick up the op, you don't really see him get the fights that he wants off those early angles. So the grouping that they're doing with Asuna, using his dog, using his flash to force TenZ off, is working really, really nicely. Back towards A, though. So much success here. And there's not even a lick of utility here for pANcada.
Here.
Oh, not to mention Stellar is this lockdown to work with. And there it is, right on cue. He trolled me.
There it is, right on cue.
Invested, and once again, Sentinels just have to sit and wait. TenZ looking for something cheeky, something early, but the fault line is so good.
I like the attempt.
But again, you mentioned the utility that they've used to keep TenZ back has been so effective.
Absolutely.
And that was another instance.
30 seconds left.
Stellar's putting himself in no man's land right now, though. Saw him take a fight early here in Sands before. Late rotate from dephh, and he has the Rolling Thunder. He has the keys to actually bringing this back in for them. Pushing into halls is going to be super important, but they counter ults.
Oh, that's a bit overkill, is it not? How does he still get one? The orbital strike, the Rolling Thunder, and Stellar still delivers.
Flash out.
They just have to cut their losses and go.
They're just countering everything at this point.
And it looks like 100 Thieves want to hunt. They want to chase.
Yeah. Distance is put between them, though. They can get up to tower. Not sure if... Oh, TenZ is actually going tree. Oh, toll. Still a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
And they just stop. Turret doesn't spot anything. They think he's still on that tree angle.
Last round before the switch.
And those 2 weapons is huge. Given the economy that you see, you already actually saw very little utility in that round. Huge calls from 100 Thieves. Huge calls for Stellar right there to know, okay, they're probably going to use that breach ult, retaking on halls, given that's where all of our post plants have been based out of. And that's just bang, instantly popping it and just denying it entirely. 6-5. 100 Thieves back on it for a split push now. And this all honestly feels like the first time they haven't found where TenZ has posted up at the beginning of the round with this op on defense. And he might end up having an angle out of halls as long as Zekken and dephh here can hold on for him.
Showstopper used by Zekken. They got 2 there! And it connects. Derrek and Bang fall. Cryo does too. Is it going to be heroics from 100 Thieves again? dephh understanding where the pressure's coming from. The spike is rotating through spawn. Back to B. Back to pANcada. Back to the Killjoy setup. And he's got a Bucky. Not the Bucky. pANcada patiently waiting until the right moment to strike, and it seems like it's Stellar who's going to be the first to challenge. 2 angles to check, and the Bucky delivers.
Spike down B.
Asuna's left in this 1v4, and he's nowhere near the spike either. Ultimately falls, and it's a 7-5 half in favor of Sentinels. Again, the response from them has been gorgeous.
Yeah. The reads that they were having on exactly how 100 Thieves was approaching that attack side were very, very good. So gotta watch how they're going.
Great half out from Sentinels. Let's throw it down to the desk.
Thank you so much, fellas. A great half across the board and a damn good way to kick off VCT Americas. And out of the gate, guys, I mean, one thing was very apparent, one thing that we were all very excited about, we got the change-ups. We saw them start to really play to the strengths of these players, these superstars, Mimi, that they had picked up.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I think that coming in with this double dive composition for Sentinels was really cool. And I think that thus far the execution of it was really strong. But on the other side, 100 Thieves also went towards the jet, and it didn't feel like that was quite as successful.
No, I think Cryo had a harder time of things, but that's more understandable when you consider they're on the attack side, I think, as well.
Yeah.
It's much easier for a jet player to have that kind of impact. And if we look at the head-to-head as well between TenZ and Cryo in particular as well, just from the stats, I mean, you can see it, the numbers aren't too good for Cryo. I'm expecting this to change when the sides switch around. You're going to be enabled a lot more, especially because TenZ was leaning more into the opping as well. And another player as well that was switching over to that comfort role was Zekken, playing that primary duelist. I mean, that guy popped off, I think, 17 kills towards the end of the half. But the primary point that I wanted to take away from this is that it looks like it's comfort zones for both teams, and you're probably going to start to see it really just pay off in the second half.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And what I was really impressed with by Sentinels was their coordination throughout this half, particularly on their retakes. A lot of 100 Thieves' game plan, I felt like, was leaning a little bit more towards these preset executes, getting space on that one, and finding sight to be able to hold the post with their ults and with their utility. But Sentinels was great at finding these high-low swings, using their 2 duelist players together, which really was an issue both at Lock-in and at that Ludwig Tarek Invitational. It seems like the team is finally comfortable together.
They're showing discipline. Like, no matter what the fight is, whether the guy's got, a Sheriff or a Bucky or a Vandal, whatever, they're showing discipline, and that is part of the reason why they are up right now. But this is still going to be anyone's game as we get ready for our next half of play. We head over to Fracture with Bala and Doug.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Yeah, second half right before us. A 7-5 lead in favor of Sentinels. Zekken's popping off. The Zekken-TenZ duo is looking flawless.
Yep. Really.
Again, it was after the first 2 rounds that they've just really had firm control.
The setups that they were going for, the cheating that they were doing with pANcada setup as well. So far, it looks good. I mean, pANcada might not be fragging as hard as you're used to, Sacy as well, but Bren was talking about comfort, and I think dephh is also leaning into that. Sacy and pANcada being the flexible ones. It's very interesting, the dynamic within the team. The North American side and the Brazilian side, the first time we've seen this type of roster be assembled in Valorant. And they're in the lead right now. 100 Thieves has got to put it together. I think their attack side definitely felt a little bit like they didn't quite... They were leaning on a lot of strengths for them, right, with the post plants and whatnot, but everything before that a lot of times felt like wasted space, wasted time.
We'll see if their defensive side looks any different, as it seems like they're very intent on pushing, on crunching. This time it's going to be on the southern side. pANcada does the same. He gets out just like we saw Stellar do a few moments ago.
This is left to site. Actually, both sides open right now. 100 Thieves with the good understanding of which side they're actually going to continue pushing in with Asuna. Already getting the jump spot there.
Zekken just went so aggressive, understanding that they're going to have to fight for this area of the map.
TenZ is with him. TenZ is with him.
Again, the duo, Zekken the first to fall. TenZ tucks tail, run away.
Talk about one-sided approach to the retake here. 100 Thieves has to barrel their way through halls. It's only Bang on the other side of the map.
TenZ clean for the first, finds cover, at least tries to, and the Cloudburst stays alive with 3 HP. I mean, there's nothing there, and he gets a second. Asuna finally stopping his antics. Cutting an end to it as Bang finds one too. The swing out from there is Bang with the second. 2v1 here, dephh once again. Left alone in this, and Asuna cleans it up.
Huge. Retake again, relying on these late round situations. They'll get the defuse. And that's just everybody from Sentinels actually kind of overextending, at least the duelist duo of TenZ and Zekken. They tried to fight for halls, TenZ has to back off. right? That you can't fight with him.
Yeah, 1 second dies. Yeah.
They didn't have the utility to really do much either. Zekken instantly satcheled into that. And Asuna just playing very cautious. And pANcada all up in front there. You also had TenZ re-push into Sands to try to keep them in halls. Didn't quite work out.
But you can tell that was very clearly their plan, right? Like contain, fight for Hall's control, and try to go through it that way.
Just didn't read the situation, like how many players from 100 Thieves were going to be inside of halls. Or from Sentinels.
Once again, we're seeing aggression towards the southern side of the map.
This is crazy. I mean, this is not very standard for 100 Thieves, both on the meta side and also for them too. It has gotten them 2 orbs very early on the anti-eco, denied what Sentinels might have as one of their round win conditions. And they're actually holding both sides exactly like we just saw from the south side. This is completely unconventional, completely novel. Sentinels, you could see, like, are they on site? Like, what is actually going to happen here?
Yeah, they're just guessing.
This is crazy.
It's almost like a line has been drawn in the sand. Who goes first?
Sentinels just faked, and there's like not even anybody there to receive the fate. Like they could have just gotten on the site. The information that 100 Thieves is actually going to have towards B here is actually basically only going to be the spike plan. So that kind of hurts,
30
but
seconds left.
You don't really expect a full, I mean, on anti-eco, like 3 players, 4 players.
Yeah, but I think they have a really good idea. Asuna just used a second flash towards Dish, and once they saw that nothing popped, they started to cheat this way. So they're here. They weren't here in time to deny it, but they're close by.
I mean, for risk on anti-eco, this is huge. Yeah. I think even Zekken has a stun nade trained on this stairs push. It's not going to come out early.
Yikes.
Bulldog finding the first. This Cryo tries to go aggressive, but TenZ gets 2 with the Sheriff. He gets down a 3rd! Man, that guy's good. Bang trading it back though. TenZ not able to find the 4th. There's Bang with 3 on the round. Can he find another? Yes, he can! 7-7.
That was a very dangerous approach from the anti-eco by 100 Thieves. I think initially my idea was, okay, this is good. They're denying the 2 orbs on the south side of the map. That was an up trap from TenZ. Getting over the smoke again. That's
jeez.
I mean, we've seen so many kills coming from that position on both sides now of the map and of the half. And it's somewhere you have to be a little bit more cautious of, but obviously there. Sentinels the guys with the low econ. And he was playing aggressive in their own spawn, so not quite what you're used to. Again, the south side push.
3rd round in a row. This time, pANcada not able to get out in time.
This is not just, you know, an eco strat. This is not just a normal
ready.
situation here. They're really relying on farming some ult orbs and then playing this weird south side setup.
Right here.
And I think Sentinels has recognized, okay, we understand what is going on here. I wouldn't be surprised as well for them to call a timeout and really discuss how this is going to plan out.
Seek them out.
I think this is where we see some of the value farming those orbs. You've got the Seekers to attempt to retake. You've got the Orbital Strike to work with 2.
Enemy remaining.
dephh just died out of tower.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate way to go. TenZ left in this 1v3. He's stunned. It's got to half, and Cryo should be able to stick it. Yeah, TenZ just going to try to save the weapon. And 100 Thieves takes the lead right back.
This is mind-boggling how this is working right now for 100 Thieves.
Just very unconventional, as you're saying.
And like I said, this is a good time to really understand the situation for Sentinels. I think the players, how they've called so far, dephh has gotten a good understanding. You see how Zekken and TenZ are both pushing up into spawn deep and fighting what is only Stellar coming through that A side in A spawn. That gives them all the room to work with and fight both the arcade push and the... Actually, it's only the tree push, honestly. But you can just barrel through so hard. Finally, it's going to be something different here from 100 Thieves. And you could see they were ready for this push. TenZ deep box in spawn.
Expecting the aggression that did not come.
Yeah, pANcada's scared of that north side push again. Gonna walk in tree this time. A standard round for once. And it's all the guns up, so huge swing round.
Note again the blades from TenZ as he tries to find high ground. And Sacy's able to poke Cryo out. As they try to find another, TenZ eventually does fall.
Spike planted.
Spike planted. And now how do they keep this? 100 Thieves with numbers advantage. Going to attempt to retake this, and they don't have any ults to work with. They do have a ton of utility to their name, though.
Oh, they're really focusing on trying to get Stellar a pick there. On to zekken.
Oh, zekken's timing here may be huge, but Stellar shows up at just the right instance.
Last
Now
player
Sacy trying to dance around the utility.
He's got no mollies.
No. He's got no teammates too. He's able to stop it. He did get to half, but it's still a 1v3, yeah. The hope was momentary.
And that is going to be a pretty substantial lead here for 100 Thieves, given the money from Sentinels. They did get that plant down. They do have 2 big ults. Actually, it's kind of huge from a couple of players. Zekken and Sacy have, for sure, full buy. They might go for it with the ults that they have.
Taken out.
More kills through smoke. And you could see the importance that they were putting on Stellar actually going to be able to find a kill on that flank. They had an Asuna flash go in. They had a stun as well from Derrek. And he just took it slow. Zekken, with all the noise happening on site, realizing, just needs to be patient himself.
Timeout called from Sentinels. As this really was, as you were saying, Balla, this was the first round where they kind of deviated from the norm that 100 Thieves had been hitting over and over. They had fully focused on pinching on the southern side. They finally threw a break into things, but honestly, even with that, there was a lot of the same utility that was used. You mentioned as soon as the flash from Asuna comes out, pANcada was out. So you see some of that conditioning play itself out, even though the round was different on its initial approach.
Yeah, I was interested to think whether they were going to use that north side feint with Asuna's Trailblazer breaking the turret and whatnot as a kind of approach to say, okay, we're doing the same thing that we were in the prior rounds, just on the north side instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And play from arcade and play from dish. But obviously that one, like, just on think about it as a concept, is not as strong, right? The dish retake would be really terrible. The arcade one will be okay, but you kind of have to hold on to tower in that case. Otherwise, there's way too many tools to play from, especially if you have spawn. So you could tell their hesitance to even go for it, and instead you play standard after breaking the utility. And again, standard again for 100 Thieves. Just getting up the ults, getting Cryo now the op. Things can start to roll. I think early game plan from 100 Thieves there was great. Good credit to the coaching staff to come up with that one.
I mean, the true test is on how they adapt, how they adjust on the other side of a timeout. You're absolutely right. What can Sentinels do with this Rolling Thunder? What can they do with this Orbital Strike?
Good microwave on site. And not do that. And they heard the door, so you can see Zekken's following up that Rolling Thunder right now to try to find Cryo, but
Stellar's gone unchecked as well. He can just pop on the other side of the smoke, and they don't know that he's there. He delivers again.
Now, but he's not.
One enemy remaining.
Doesn't matter. Asuna too.
Spike down A.
Everybody combining. Info gained on pANcada as well. Last one in, over and over.
Yeah, I mean, the round's a wrap. First flawless comes through. 3-round lead in favor of 100 Thieves.
We're not getting the message.
And this should be it. Okay, they'll be able to buy some.
Yeah, you might see some light armor vandals, that sort of thing. That's definitely caught on since Fanatics win at lock-in.
Yeah.
For almost all the regions that we've seen so far. Happy about that one. And they needed it. To continue this barrage from 100 Thieves, this is very strong. You understand the amount that was going in on that sand push. Asuna being able to contribute, and then TenZ as well, not really feeling the Rolling Thunder at all in his position. It's only 2 Vandals bought in. Zekken and TenZ.
What can the mischievous duo do with that?
Right now, walking slowly towards the other side. Those are the big bros standing right next to each other. That setup intended to find any pick on arcade. Nobody's walking up in that direction again. It's going to be over towards this B side. pANcada with the deep alarm bot. They're deciding right now, do we go for the lockdown? on this eco, and it's gonna choose not to, but he is staying in underpass. If they get the site, which they do, once again, 100 Thieves is giving it up. They get into some trouble here. I'm looking at that north side push that's coming in right now. If they can actually find something, especially push TenZ off, then all of a sudden they have the room to potentially break this from pANcada.
They've pushed him off, but he stays alive. Again, note, those are the 2 rifles. Eyes fall on them. On TenZ, and he delivers again. He's gotten 2 on the round.
There's no way in. They have to fall back. They have to honestly save. That's crazy.
Enemy remaining.
That is crazy. The decision there from Sentinels. You could tell what was going on. Okay, are they going to leave this site again? Are they really going to do this when we have lockdown? No tools from Bang to be able to use that either. Asuna just picks up the op and saves.
Thrifty.
Big response out from Sentinels too. And that's not the round you expect them to pull it off in. But for them to stop the bleeding, because it'd been 5 rounds in a row for 100 Thieves.
I'm a little concerned if that's what it takes, right? If that's what it takes, a lockdown. Obviously, that was still an eco round, but just the amount of thought that went into it to be able to take that round back. And is that tool even going to be available to you for the rest of the game? Because Bang is going to get up on his orbital strike soon.
You got to be careful here. They may have trap for the southern side. Derrek's playing up top with the Rolling Thunder. If the flash gets info, they're going to want to go. You can see they're waiting for it. The Trailblazer cleared, and there it is. The Rolling Thunder dropped in. They're going to rotate right into it. The reinforcements are coming. The Showstopper invested, and he gets a kill, but it traded right back. A 4v4 here on the round as there was so much setup. And just 1 body dropped on either side.
And they heard the rotation, I think, from Asuna. Falling back off of sand right now. That's why they're re-clearing in this space.
The explosive start comes to a screeching halt. Note here, Derrek is the op. And he's still playing close by.
Sacy with the 2 smokes. He just marked where he's going to smoke, so Derrek might be able to get shots over that if they go up on top of the site. But other than that, he's going to be locked out.
Oh, he sidesteps it! Not able to get the kill!
The movement there from TenZ is just phenomenal.
Derrek once again with the op. And Sacy manages to get away without taking a lick of damage.
Now they can
now they can save the orbital strike for post plant too.
He's got his molly as well, pANcada too. Right there. Flipping the script on 100 Thieves. They've got the post plant utility now. Wondering if Seller can find a place to use this ult. I don't think he will.
Sacy waiting. Finger on the trigger. Waiting for the Q to go. Huge shot out from TenZ. There's an orbital strike. Stella has to dance around, has to try to stay alive. Not able to do so. And dephh keeps it back. Sentinels get to 9. And again, Bala, I have to go back to the timeout. I have to go back to that thrifty round win because that was the point at which they could have folded or responded. And it's very evident that they're not done with this map.
I have to think as well, that breach ult did not find too much value. Zekken able to just trade a showstopper in his life to shut down the push. Cryo could have gotten a lot there. And good calls out of Sacy as well. And for him to actually take the risk and jump out of sight there just secures it entirely. pANcada pressured again. And he realizes, okay, they're not really going for this north side push that hard. Whenever they flash, whenever they dog me off. So he's staying up there.
Note the op in the hands of Cryo here. If I'm not mistaken, the first time we'll see him wield that weapon. And it's all quiet on the attacking front for now.
Super quiet. I think pANcada recognizing, okay, there was not really any real pressure on me. Gives him the room to do plenty in this round. Flash and Halls gets info. Asuna now on notice. That might pull out some smokes from Bang.
You're absolutely right. There it is. TenZ going forward.
He's actually not using. He's completely saving it for full retake. Stellar as well with his ult. They could use this preemptively even. 30 seconds left in the round. Remember, Sacy used his ult last round.
They should have gotten eyes on TenZ there, and yeah, he's going to have to reposition. They're all going to funnel out of tower. 4 of them? That's is insane, but that's exactly what they're trying to do, trying to waterfall out the high ground, and Sentinels doesn't give them an inch. Zekken with 2. I mean, look at the X's on the mini mark, man.
That they're all working on trying to get space for Stellar to get the big ult. Not the one in spawn. That leaves a lot of pockets. The one that's in sand allows a lot of hulls control at the same time, so they can't just sit back and play post plant. And it completely goes the opposite direction there. Sentinels felt like they kind of expected that fallout from them.
See if Derrek's able to preserve the weapon. Yeah. He is able to do so. We're tied 10 apiece. The last 2 rounds going in favor of Sentinels.
Swing streak after swing streak. And here's the timeout from 100 Thieves. 4 more rounds of regulation. Couldn't be closer at this point.
I believe 2 Cryo had blades to work with going into this next round, so we'll see how they choose to use it.
And you can also remember they completely abandoned that unconventional approach at the beginning of this half. You can tell that was mainly to get a lot of ults up early, to get the economy rolling early. And ever since then, it's just been raw fracture gameplay and strategy. That was what started that streak from 100 Thieves. Regardless of the pressure on the eco rounds from Sentinels, they were still cleaning it up.
Early on here, and again, I want to take a moment to check into the ultimates that both teams have to work with. The blades are online for Cryo. Bang has his orbital strike to work with too. While TenZ has some of his own, but he's got a Vandal. You can't imagine he'll use his.
Key players have all the util that they need. Stellar's got all of his. Asuna's got all of his.
Cryo's blades, and again, it's going to be aggression from 100 Thieves as they want to fight. They want to create some space for Cryo to work. The Trailblazer paves the way, and there are 2 people coming across ropes. Once again, Sentinel showing that they're willing to take the fight, but Cryo punches him back. They've got the orbital strike too, and that's going to cut him off. This Cryo, once again, trying to find elevation to find another kill.
Look at these retake mollies as well that Stellar has on tower. They could be full, confident. At nobody pulling up close tower while they're all coming up through tree right now. Oh.
Huge positioning out from Stellar. You can find so much value, but every single bullet goes wide. What more can they do? TenZ dancing around the smokes, reestablishing presence in the space. And of course, he does pop the blades. And there they are first. 2 more right around the corner, not able to find any of it. Can pANcada do it? He's got it down to a 1v1. The swing out is there, and Derrek responds.
Holy moly. What a huge round from 100 Thieves, coming out strong again with Crowd just pushing out the same spot that he normally is. Just straight down out of halls. There the follow-up with the stun, the brim ults as well. Players coming off the rope, that timing could have been more perfect. And Derrek, the safe pair of hands, the clutch man on this team.
Heavy punch from Sentinels. I mean, look at how they're grouped up.
This is it again.
They're all there.
Yeah, pushing down that south side. Crowd's got the ult, or the op, so he's not playing super aggressively, but just trading util.
And 100 Thieves just back off.
Here.
100 Thieves happy to get a nade out, get a stun out that early. Just by feinting, just by pressuring a little bit. But this is a full XX, so they've got to be getting a molly down. They've got to be getting this aftershock in. They won't. He's actually out in the open.
Dude, when you have TenZ and zekken both just running at you on the other side of a cloudburst and a fall line, what do you do?
They've got the breach ult off of that kill too.
And it's pushing into spawn. I mean, they're just so decisive in their plays. They're so confident in how they want to play this out. 100 Thieves left with 3 in the round, and the spike ticking away. Asuna is going to have to push his way forward. Time not on their side.
That's a miss. 2 miss mollies, actually.
Asuna not able to deliver. 4v2 now in favor of Sentinels, and that might have been the cue to just cut losses and go. Save the op, save the Bulldog. Doesn't mean you can see it. They don't have much as far as money goes.
Asuna and Derrek can scrape together something, but Bang is definitely hurting for economy. They're chasing though, trying to find this op. This is only a Bulldog from Stellar. If anything here, you want to come out with Stellar going down.
Oh, this may be a problem. They're chasing him and he's failed. What?
The guy's fully running.
That's so big. We're now tied at 11, and look at the money situation for 100 Thieves. What should have been a rifle and an op. Now is a judge and what, some pistols?
Can't use that yet.
And they honestly have to play for OT. After losing that, they've got to play for OT. I'm seeing a judge from Derrek. Those things can do crazy things in these late match situations. Where's he playing at? I mean, it is just completely a gamble here from 100 Thieves, and Sentinels might have just taken the bait with Asuna's flash through drop.
100 Thieves are here. They've got many close by. And it's gonna be difficult to deal with, but Asuna with 2 pings, one of his own!
Down A.
Again, the gun difference here should be the equalizer.
Did he get anything? No, he didn't even get a Vandal. Look at this fast from Derrek though, he's gonna get up close. The information given from Asuna dropping back right there. I thought for sure they were both going to try to head off the arcade flank, but Sentinels makes the call to fall back into this. And unfortunately, without gathering a weapon there, you don't give them too much chances.
Right. I mean, that was such an instrumental part in being able to secure this round, and it's obviously far from done. But that certainly would have helped things. 40 seconds left in the round. Sentinels now establishing presence and control on A. Gonna get the spike down as well. Here momentarily, and 100 Thieves none the wiser.
They even gave Sacy the spike there, transferred it over.
Note here, Sacy has no armor.
I like this from 100 Thieves. The spike, the thing is, it's taking so long to go north side, but they're both going to be able to recover guns. Those were not thrown off the side.
That could be the difference maker here. Asuna's a little weak, but Sacy is too.
Sacy's got a molly though. They've got a molly on the spike as well already from pANcada. They got to pick this up.
They've got to go, and they've got to go fast. Derrek has a bit of utility to work with. Sacy now stunned up, 72 HP, time ticking, and they don't know he's there. They never cleared him. Sacy gets 3. Sentinels take the lead back.
The Brazilian duo on Sentinels.
Finish him off.
On a round that could have gotten really, really dicey. Are so reliable for this team. Yes, the majority of these rounds, the majority of this game, we've been singing zekken and TenZ's praises. But when you see that situation, when they switch to Portuguese, lovely thing to watch.
Up in the hands of Cryo, 100 Thieves. Facing a map one loss. How do they respond? They have Derrek's ult to work with too. No cheeky south side pinches, nothing aggressive. But look at Cryo creep. The flash.
This looks like Sacy's pinched right now, but there's a great smoke from TenZ to get him out. But get him out where? Inside of drop here? Yes, they have 2 players in halls. Yes, they can go for an A pinch. But Stellar's up here. He's going to follow up on the dash.
He's swinging. He's looking for it, and he finds one through the smoke. The Rolling Thunder now invested. Spike push back. And I don't know that they can really rotate out. With a minute left in the round, their options are to go back towards A or push into the op from Cryo.
Oh! It's a missed shot! And he thinks the rotate's coming in too. He's falling completely off. He's not going to be here in time at all to hold on to this. Sentinels with the game in their grasp.
And again, the silence on the map, deafening, is neither team willing to make a sound. 30 seconds left in the round 2. All the onus is on Sentinels here to make a move.
30 seconds left.
And there it is. They wait for the fault line. The smokes are out. Zekken the first to dash, and Derrek glad to respond. But the spam leaves them worse for wear. But Bang's playing on the other side of the smoke. You'd never expect that. They're traded back and forth yet again. Spike does go down. Once again, Cryo still has that up.
Spike planted.
A miss early on, but can he deliver the second time around?
Asuna already opening the door, pulls pANcada off, so it's the Brazilian duo again to hold on to this game.
Sacy's in a tough spot here, and he's depending on the timing of the swing, he is going to get some help. Flash is going to get some info, but they still don't go. They're still patient, and they don't have any more utility to work with. Sacy's able to get the first king. Cryo, clutch it out! No, he cannot! Sacy with 3 and Sentinels with map 1.
Those 2 to close it out in that fashion. 2 2v2s in a row. Making it count. The Brazilian duo on Sentinels. Showing us why this roster's put together. Coming out with map 1 right away. That was their pick. We're moving on to split next. That's 100 Thieves' pick, but that was a close game to start things off, and you can see Sentinels leaning into their strengths.
Yeah, and for good reason. I mean, again, we'll take a look at the scoreboard here in a minute, but zekken and TenZ combined for 50. So you've got that duo, and then you have Sacy and pANcada, and you go, yeah, okay, I get it, right? Like, I get why this roster looks so good on paper, and I get why people are so excited for this squad.
A few questions answered on what the approach is going to be for Sentinels, but still more to come. I cannot wait for the next map. I cannot wait to see who's going to step up. I think some of the creativeness that we saw from 100 Thieves is definitely leaving me very interested on what the future of this squad looks like. For example, even just the basics, even sticking Cryo back on that jet instead of Raze on this map makes me think they are as well finding their comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, it was close, right? We saw both teams like trade momentum, trade blows. They were very decisive and aggressive in how they wanted to play their map. They had a plan coming into it, and you saw there were some instances in which delivered and then others in which it faltered. But either way, you see the strength of both of these teams. And honestly, given the fact that this is the very first match, I mean, what a way to start.
So good to see TenZ on land again as well. We saw him a little bit of lock-in, but it was way too short, way too sweet. And now we get to see it again, extended, and you can see the form, you can see the expectation behind him. Was the face of Valor for so long. Back on the stage again for an extended period.
It's all about the duos here. Map 1 goes in favor of Sentinels. We're gonna throw it to a break. We'll be right back.
He is currently unstoppable. True. He is just a consistent demon. El Diablo.
Hey guys, it's Ye. Welcome to my course on optimal Valorant training. I'm going to be demonstrating now some angle clearing. I'll slowly come around the corner as well, making sure no one's on these off angles.
Senior Mayor, with this tower I will make Pisa world famous. And you?
You can see towers like this in Rome, in Venice, in Florence.
But this one's round.
No, I don't know. Maybe a Red Bull will help you see it from a different slant.
Yes, I got it. We'll build it like this.
Perfetto!
Red Bull gives you wings.
I was taught to hustle through the pain. My body and soul, without each what will I gain? So many try to use me when I help pave a way. But man, that's just life, there ain't really much to say. I'm the one, I know I'm the one, everybody follow me. The one they all trying to beat, I know that I gotta be. I've been training hard, I'm ready for any rivalry. I lost it all but kept the fight in me. Now look, I've been laying low but speak on me and I'ma show up. My squad full of bosses, can't let anybody hoe us. Yeah, my life is sweet, I got the whipping doing donuts. Wanna live like me, well here's the contract you ain't know of. I signed up to grind, I signed up to be the best, man. Chin up when I hustle, I can't focus on the next, man. They said that I gotta work, I said, oh yeah, I'm on it. Cause when it's said and done, we gon' see who really want it. Yeah, who really want it. Who really want it. Cheddar, who really want it? Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? better is my name. Legendary is my aim. Already legendary. Y'all know that we ain't the same. Whether sun or rain, ain't nobody else to blame. The life I live is mine, so I control the change. Tell me that I'll lose. Tell me y'all don't see my vision. Tell me that I'm no one and I got some competition. I'ma show you what it looks like when you never listen. Open your eyes and pay attention. I'm on a new level. Hell no, I can't settle. Gonna be the best and I'ma show more than I tell you. I am not impressed because you got a little metal. I'm here to take you down and bring the heat like I'm the devil. I can show you light. Yeah, I can show you heaven. I can show you how to win when you think that you're failing. What I tell you, yeah, you gotta work. Yeah, you gotta be on it. Cause when it's said and done, we gon' see who really want it. Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? Yeah, I'm getting better and better and only focus on cheddar. Who really want it? Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it?
Welcome back to VCT Americas, and oh boy, what a game we were just treated to. Map 1 goes to Sentinels 13-11. 100 Thieves certainly making that one a competitive one as we get ready for a split. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Brendan Mimi, but let's go ahead and break down that first game because it was awesome to watch, top to bottom. First and foremost, though, let's actually dive into, the map holistically, like everything as a whole here, because I think there were so many swings. Doug and Baller were talking about it. So many swings, Mimi, throughout the game. It was very clear these two teams are just trying to knock each other out.
Yeah, we asked the question, what are these teams' identities heading into this match? And I think map number 1 was a sample. For both these teams, it was kind of a return to comfort in the compositions. For Sentinel, it was this double duelist comp running both Zekken and TenZ on their comfort roles and swapping pANcada over to the Killjoy. And for 100 Thieves as well, it was putting Cryo onto the Jet that he's known for.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw examples as well where that was really working out in particular. I think for 100 Thieves, and they were really leveraging the fact that Cryo was on that comfort role of the Jet. This was a great round here to showcase it because it was a bonus round strategy from them. The south side crunches they were doing so often into these retakes, and early on in that second half, this was working out so damn well. They won multiple rounds in a row from these retakes, but it was ultimately Sentinels who came back with the adaptations that ended up working out for them. I love that we caught that as well. I mean, dephh just absolutely just getting rolled by the servers there.
Getting microwaved.
Yeah, but there were adaptations being shown off the back of it, but it was looking entirely in the side of 100 Thieves, really leveraging what we were talking about earlier with Cryo being put into that position where he could take names, being that spearhead for the team.
Yeah, the defensive side of 100 Thieves started by being defined by their retakes. With those south side takes, they were able to just orb max and constantly have an ultimate online to win in these post plants, but then they changed things up. Sen started realizing that 100 Thieves was taking that space, so 100 Thieves instead went for more of these full kind of retake plays. This one was a heavy stack towards B off the rip, but when they attempt to go for their retake here, they're completely funneling from spawn to try and get this better Killjoy lockdown positioning, and they get utterly pinched by Sentinels. I think this was a great adaptation by Sen to realize that, hey, they're always going for these early gamuts to take space. We need to shut that down, and then when 100 Thieves does make that change to play more passive, to dedicate towards those retakes, they have the right setup to counter that.
Yeah, worked out massively. On Fracture, you can't really give up, I think, so many avenues for either main, drop, whatever, if you're trying to retake on the A side as well. If you give up that space and the attackers end up taking it in their post plans, it is really, really rough. And that realization by Sentinels was just so good in the second half. You're seeing two teams really pushing themselves to the limits here, I think, and it's really just fantastic to watch. It's not just a clout match in name. Really, the teams are actually looking really
living
sharp.
up to it. Living up to it.
Yeah, and I think as well, you can kind of see the contrast there between what we saw at lock-in from Sentinels, where in that game versus Fnatic that they played, I felt like they really struggled with the way their opponent was playing retake. Here, they were able to change that up, which is a big improvement for them.
All right, well, guys, you know how we do this. Before we get into map 2, let's actually have a little pregame warm-up in our AIM Lab shoot-around right now. And, of course, we're watching the one and only TenZ, because Mimi heckin' loves TenZ. She has told me many times.
That is true. I do indeed heckin' love TenZ. And what I heckin' loved, I guess, from this team in map number 1 is that they're giving him his jet. They're letting him play on the role where he can pop off, and he absolutely did in that first map.
Yeah, he absolutely did. But the question is, does that continue heading into the next map? Because that's going to be Split. And we do actually have some prior info because it was one of the 2 maps that Sentinels ended up playing at lock-in.
Yeah.
The centerpiece of a lot of criticism, honestly, as well. I think the fans were expecting TenZ to be in that heavy hitter duelist role, and he ended up playing the Sage for them back at lock-in on Split itself. I didn't think his Sage was particularly bad, actually. I thought it was more the general game plan of Sentinels that was a bit amiss. I wouldn't be upset to see them run a similar comp as well moving into Split, but that is the big question again, is do they want to continue with the double duelist? Do they continue want to be leveraging that? Because the double duelist has seen a lot of play recently across all regions, not just that as well. A lot of teams seeing a lot of success with it, even on Split.
I think this would be the map where if you want to continue this double duelist idea, it's great. We saw Loud, Fracture, and Split were the 2 maps at lock-in where they were playing these double duelist compositions. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that change up for the side of Sentinels. But for 100 Thieves, there's tons of questions, because since Split has been reintroduced to this map pool, they're yet to play it. We don't know what to expect from this squad with Cryo in the mix.
Yeah, a lot of question marks, right? For sure, as we get ready for this next game here, you can see if you're just joining us, you missed a great matchup. Definitely go back in the VOD and check that one out. 13-11, Sentinels pick up a massive win that this team, I think, really needed it. I think they needed that win. I think they needed that win, like, because sure, you know, LTI was one event, but like going to lock-in, lose to the team that ends up winning the whole dang thing. You lost 2-0. It wasn't great. Like, I think that this team, Bren, really were seeking out that first victory. So to get it must feel so sweet.
Yeah, the fans definitely were, but God, the amount of pressure they must have been feeling heading into this series. So they got over the first initial hurdle, which was that initial map, but I'm really just interested in terms of what they're going to be playing as well heading into Split.
I wonder if we're going to get double duelist versus double duelist. I think there's a chance, because Asuna's raise is comfortable. If they want to continue to lean into Cryo on that jet, maybe they do it. But a change for Sentinels already. They're actually locking in the Sage on Sacy this time. Another change off his normal role of being that flash initiator.
And they are putting TenZ in that power position of him playing that jet for them as well. I was wondering if they were going to be leading into it. deph's still playing that Astra as well. He loves to, you know, play a lot of a lurking playstyle actually from dephh, which is quite counterable, I think, if 100 Thieves have done their homework. It might explain why they've taken him to this map as well, because dephh loves to lurk down mid as like an Astra as well when he's calling his attack sides. It has been exploitable in the past. I wonder if 100 Thieves are reading into that.
It looks like this might actually be a no duelist comp from Sentinels coming out, or excuse me, it was actually that switch already with him playing on Jet. But yeah, it will be the double controller composition instead. I feel like on this map, you either need the Viper or the Cypher on your attacking side to pressure those lurks towards A ramp. Both these teams go in a different direction to that solution, but really it is similar comps, just the raise for the Jet. And I think that's more an idea of comfort versus building around that agent. Obviously, TenZ loves his Jet. Asuna, the raise is a role he's known for as well.
And I gotta say, I actually really do like 100 Thieves comp if they put the game in the game time into it. I think having that Cypher, you can use the cam for a lot of set plays with the raise nades, the pulls, and the flashes as well. If they've done their homework, they could come out swinging with some really good set strategies.
All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and find out if this clout match can actually go the distance. Come on, Arena. Go ahead and make some noise, and we're going to send it back over to your casters. It's Doug and Bolo.
Thank you, Golden Boy. There's a whole lot to talk about. You got Split, you've got different compositions, we've got the conversation around Jet versus Raze on Split and kind of what feels better, what do you prefer? I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to talk about. I'm just looking at the Sentinels composition, I'm thinking, okay, going back to the old thing that was always plaguing them. TenZ back on Jet here, they're not even going for the Raze for zekken. That was actually kind of the switch. So we'll see if it's actually going to net anything of value here. I think the Jet definitely has some value here when you're getting an op as good as TenZ out there on the field, but you can see so many instances of that getting countered, of that playstyle getting neutered by a slow approach and especially by a double controller comp. That's not what's actually coming out from 100 Thieves though. They're going a lot more standard, and we have the classic Asuna raise too.
Just a few moments away from starting this one off. 100 Thieves on the attacking side, and it's going to be heavy towards A. Look at that 5-stack. Using the cage to get across, establish some heaven control. It's going to be a whole lot of pressure on pANcada.
Walled off ropes already too. Barreling through onto the site. Mentioned pressure on pANcada, he's just off the site.
Yeah.
But 100 Thieves has gained so much. It's not just the A site, it's not just this plant. They've got a heaven plant, And they've also got so much room up here in tower.
And it's just going to be so miserable to try to clear it out. I think Cryo has to be really big here to provide some cover for his team. And he does get one. Sacy dancing just on the other side of the wall, trades it right back.
They've got to keep the pace up, though, because this post plan is so hard from 100 Thieves.
Oh, and look at Cryo, cheeky little spot. Will he be cleared? I don't know that he will. Oh, he will. Oh, gosh. Goomba stomps him all the way to the round. Asuna trading it back. 1v2.
F's got a grab well also on the spike.
One enemy remaining.
He's gotten it to a 1v1, but there's just not enough time, I don't think. Yeah.
Not even close. Bren was just talking about how we have dephh going back to the controller on this side, on the side of Sentinels, and then bang here as well. Just very, very lurky. That approach that you can have on this map is so key. And all that space that 100 Thieves gained, yes, Sentinels was able to crack through it, but there's so many layers you have to get through. And the final one is just too much.
Able to invest the Phantom into the hands of Bang as well. Which can be both very helpful or potentially dangerous if you drop it.
Not much on the side of Sentinels. Just a sheriff from Sacy. And they did get actually a Trailblazer from Zekken. See how they choose to use that, if they will, or if he's just buying it for future and maybe can use it in this round if they actually want to go for something.
Okay, it looked like it was just a little late, but it is going to push him off. Now Asuna stuck in the gravity well himself. TenZ procs the dash. I thought he was going to be patient, but it's actually zekken who's just beneath too. Again, you see that duo setup so effective, but Cryo able to trade it back out.
Oh my god.
No shot.
Player standing.
He's going to get cleared from Stellar here, actually putting his trip out.
That could have been cool. But either way, 100 Thieves able to get the second. Cryo with 3 on the round. 3 points away now from having that res online.
I'm betting Sacy's just in the same position he is. With the pistol round that he had and the one tat that he got as well in mid. Credit to both the Astra players on this map so far. Both dephh and Bang got some really good gravity wells off in that one. I think the pace that 100 Thieves has shown both on Fracture and now at the beginning of this map too is definitely not what you're used to from this team. You're used to slow, methodical, mid-round calling, decision-making from... Ooh. It ducked back under sewers to dodge the flash there. And Asuna just pokes his head into it anyways.
Really cool setup. Again, 100 Thieves using the cage as cover.
We're not.
Bang staying behind. Provides some util. The wall goes up. Zekken able to drop Asuna. How much more can he find? A second spam through as Bang falls. Cryo, the sprays ultimately lands. Better late than never. Because it's a 4v3 here in favor of Sentinels.
Sacy worried about them dropping down after he breaks the wall on them, so...
Yeah, this is such a weird spot for 100 Thieves to be in because they have Heaven control and they're starting to clear out some ropes, but they don't have A. They can't easily funnel out because you've got pANcada who's still there.
And he did refuel his orb too, so coming out through main here is going to be very difficult.
I mean, they've almost got him boxed in. What do they do from here?
pANcada's really worried about somebody getting through dephh into screams there, so he's putting himself in a position that makes it really tough.
30 seconds left.
Opts to take that fight. Site control is theirs. You've got Stellar in a cheeky little position. Spike still not planted. They're being patient. The gravity well may have Derrek in trouble. TenZ from on top, up in heaven. Not able to find anything. They delay to try to establish control, and it's just not enough.
I need to stop.
That's a big round from the initial hold on A main out of zekken. Up in tower too, then falling back. And you can see that tower push that we saw on pistol and just then this round as well. The bonus from 100 Thieves just trying to wall off ropes. How much? They're not really fighting in heaven at that current time. They've got to have their players in front of that. They've got to have Asuna in front of that so he could actually hold the angles for the utility to come down. Opting to fall back into a more traditional default here. With some mid-presence shown and then actually falling over into B.
We haven't seen a lot here. TenZ and dephh both close by. Gravity well on TenZ being patient here, not taking the bait, not choosing to swing out.
Now they've got this res up. They can go for a lot more greedy picks.
All right.
Not TenZ's side, but he goes for it anyways.
There's the res. And TenZ ultimately falls. Sacy able to trade one out through the smoke.
After all that, though, not so much space gained from 100 Thieves. In fact, they've used their wall. And it's been a pivotal part of every single hit that they've had so far.
Trying to establish some mid-control while the spike remains in garage.
That wall went up late in the round, too, so...
Yeah. It'll be there for some. You see the pre-fire zekken has to back up.
Ooh. Risky business there from zekken, too. There could have been a player up on top of ramps. Oh, Cryo. And Derrek gonna work out a B main.
But you mentioned the wall from earlier, not there anymore, so they have to be a bit more cautious, a bit more trepidatious on how they decide to go about this. Sacy's able to hold the line with 3-4 on the round. No idea that the ace was just around the corner. Ultimately, his punish. Bang swings out and falls. We're tied at 2.
The idea there for 100 Thieves to fall back into mid and maybe find a pick through that was okay, but immediately getting denied by the wall, not recognizing how late Sacy's putting it on. Gotta get more out from this defense. And Sacy, who, you know, him and pANcada were kind of the heroes of that Fracture game in towards the end, but both of them were not having the best of games. Both of them were having struggles adapting to how 100 Thieves was playing. They were really letting TenZ and zekken kind of go for it.
Full mid control established by 100 Thieves, and you take a look at their guns very quickly. It's 2 stingers and pistols. You mentioned too, you see that far back wall from Sacy. That's so much, it's going to be very difficult to deal with. It seems like they've pinged it out, so they have a good idea of where it is. But you have to get so far up just to have knowledge, just to have info that the wall's there to begin with.
Well, one thing with how far back it is sometimes you don't really have to deal with it, right? You get ropes control and you're happy to go towards A.
Yeah, you choose to go elsewhere.
If you want to be hitting this B side, you do have to, especially if you're not going to be able to get out of B main with a raw execute.
But you see the meticulous mannerisms from 100 Thieves. They go up, they clear the wall out just to provide doubt, just to give the slightest hint of possibility that that's where they want to end up. But of course, they go the unconventional way. They don't go into mail, they don't go through ropes, they go through sewers.
And you've got 3 players here. So once again, Sentinels coming up with some good reads. pANcada's
30 seconds left.
Still got his orb down on the bottom of A main, which does give them room to kind of walk out into this position where zekken is on top of right now, but also gives the room for him to pivot.
How the heck is he still alive? Surely they know where he is now, but he's got help. The cavalry has arrived.
That orb is just so good from pANcada.
10 seconds left.
Derrek clean with it for the first. That's all it's going to be. Sentinels take the lead back. How zekken even stays alive to the end of the round is just mind-numbing.
I mean, that's 2 times as well that he gets away from like positions similar to that just by dropping down and playing behind the orb. And that's not one you normally have, right? Normally you're relying on like a astral smoke from that, but the Viper orb actually gaining a little space there on the backside of that flower pot. What it does lose is the Viper orb in mid, right? That actually buffers and gives you more on this wall. That 100 Thieves is kind of cheating through. So if they can recognize that, then maybe there's room to really start to punish that wall and really start to split on this map.
Wisdom out of 100 Thieves to open the round. That slower right where TenZ is peeking, and what a shot from Cryo.
And he's got to continue to come alive. Fracture definitely was a little rough for him in his first bout against TenZ ever.
Your duty is not over.
But they get him back up. They give up the space. Remember how this was happening on Fracture over and over.
They know there are at least 2 on that side. You hear the showstopper used. The Cosmic Divide also through. As Asuna has fully cleared the site.
pANcada's out behind the wall too.
This could be troublesome. But TenZ finds one with the op. The Cosmic Divide tried keeping him back, but they've cleared past it at this point. It's just 2 left on the side of 100 Thieves, and Asuna and Stellar. And the spike is in heaven. I mean, they can fully surround it. They've got smokes, they've got walls, they have personnel, they have everything. It's Secret Service for this thing. This just seems so impossible.
I mean, it is. There's still more utility here from Sentinels. There's none for 100 Thieves. I mean, even getting the op here is just enough.
One enemy remaining.
Interesting here that they choose to continue to fight for this. TenZ gets 2 with the op at the end, and the economy for 100 Thieves is bad.
I mean, I think I understand the reasoning why 100 Thieves goes quickly back towards the other side of the map through ropes there after getting that kill on TenZ, but giving up that space while Res is up and how flexible Sacy has been with his positioning. That one hurts, and then Asuna as well didn't clear really any of the important spots. I mean, that's overstating that a lot. But the spots that 100 Thieves were in, it's easy for me to say with the radar. He gets them up through heaven, but can't find pANcada on the site. And nobody's able to clear zekken there either. It's the orb in mid this time. Yeah, they swapped it over. And I think it's a perfect time to do this. It should be when 100 Thieves starts to really understand, okay, that mid orb's not there. We have more free space. They just went through ropes. So pANcada's switching it up.
3 stingers here on the attacking side as well. Oh, try turning the flash. He has really no choice but to sit and wait, pray, and hope that he does not get cleared, and he does.
I turned it like it was a KO flash. Like instant pop, but no. Actually delayed that.
Just enough.
Derrek is throwing that all the way up into where it will clear a little bit of ropes too, so that's why it was delayed a little bit. And so they get a phantom off of that, but still with 50 seconds breaking this wall now, that's giving up the info. TenZ is here on that site.
Yeah, and Stellar's back in spawn. Concerned that they've pushed in through garage. He's got to be more cautious about how he goes about this. It looks like they're going to end up being. It's going to be into the hop of TenZ, as you mentioned. A deep ball here to cut off any rotations. You're going to try to satchel out. The first op shot misses as TenZ repositions. And they've managed to get the spike down. The thing is here, like, oh, they're going to have to clear out that wall, which they do. Seeker straight in kind.
They got the information about the player in Mel, though.
Asuna playing down low. TenZ, they just swarm him, they overwhelm him, and they drop him. What can dephh find from up in heaven? 4v3 here. Derrek has been the one who picked up the op. Stinger sings again as Bang finds another. There's Asuna with the kill. It's all on the second, and he's not going to be able to pull it off. A thrifty round for Sentinels as they take the lead. Or for 100 Thieves, excuse me.
There was definitely an opportunity there once the players pushed onto TenZ, where they had a timing to push out of heaven, but all that time, Cryo was just lurking outside of Mail. Remember I said the flash did spot him, or the secret did spot him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're so concerned about that they don't abuse the timing of the guys pushing into spawn. And 100 Thieves has really started to roll with the idea of getting in through mid, and I think pANcada as well. Not comfortable in that ropes position. Him losing early that fight gave them way too much room.
Op in the middle of the map this time around while 100 Thieves test the waters A.
That cage missed from Stellar.
Yeah.
So they actually have full information about what cross right now. pANcada's just looking at it.
And I don't know that the Trailblazer saw him there.
I think it definitely spotted TenZ in that corner.
Spike dropped.
I think almost for sure. So Derrek's actually backing up and gonna flash back into mid. Feints that they're still pushing up into Mail. And walk back over towards A. Again, another cage coming through. This time it hits.
Zekken and pANcada both close by.
I mean, everybody's rotating actually. Sentinels has got the read. I think they just re-walled mid. Sacy just used it after that flash came through from Derrek.
And because of that, they have confidence to invest their resources on this side of the map. If they go back up to heaven, it's all going to be on the op, but the cage, the camera was so good to break crosshair. Now the Cosmic Divide. Sacy waiting on the other side, and they flood through.
30 seconds left.
Once again, not able to hold the line.
Blinded.
Good flash from Zekken. They're actually potentially going through B. They have barely enough time here. deph's hiding behind his astral wall. It's gonna fall. He hears them right now.
He's got to get a lot. He's just got to provide time. He's just got to buy just enough time to keep them back. Wise to it. Playing the clock. Gets one. Is that going to be enough? No, the spike should be able to get planted. Derrek, what shot was that? What?
There's no way. I thought for sure pANcada swinging around that corner is going to easily clean him up. That dude put the quick mag switch on.
Oh, and surely we see that again, yeah.
All of a sudden, 100 Thieves is back in this game. That pivot late.
Enemy remaining. Dude, so well played by Stellar there. Again, it was the cam on the opposite side of the wall. Has to swing over with the op to clear that out. And then they just flood him there. It's those little nuanced things that's what broke crosshair placement. That's what allowed them to take that space.
And interestingly enough, with this double duelist comp, definitely feel like you should have, sorry, actually, no double duelists on the map. I'm thinking just like in general how it's in the meta and how it's kind of shifted the win rates of defense side versus attack side. I'm actually thinking the double controller from Sentinel should still be leaning defensive sided, especially against this comp out from 100 Thieves. So from this point on, like, after they call this timeout, they've got to start cleaning it up. They've got to start, especially with the advantages that they're gaining. Strategically, it feels like they're definitely winning the battle. But 100 Thieves is barreling through them when it matters.
And that's gotten us to this 4-4. Light armor across the board for Sentinels here.
And pANcada's got his ult. I'm looking to see, his orb is actually still on A main, so he's gonna ult in mid here.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, very common here on split. And this is good against 100 Thieves and what they're doing, countering this specifically. There are tools for 100 Thieves to get through this. They're even dogging fast. Asuna's getting right up in it. But the slow combo as well. He's pushed out of this maybe with this nade.
I mean, they just bully him through.
Oh, Asuna's so low. The K is bringing him all the way down to 1 HP. Can he get through into Mail?
He's got a little bit of help here, and then you saw Sacy drops the wall on the other side of it, is able to get up top, get a kill onto Cryo.
I mean, they've broken through the ults.
There.
But so many of the players are low right now. If they can, I mean, they're kind of pinched and isolated from the rest of their team right now.
Under the veil.
pANcada, oh my goodness.
Whoa. He finds one in the spray on the second. I mean, the pit ended up being insane. We thought he was just going to get bullied right out of it, but he's able to dance in and out of it long enough to keep it up and gets 2 kills in it.
Yeah, the counter utility out from both sides there. The nade going into ropes, pushing pANcada down. He's scared to go back up the rope. The slow from Sacy to actually delay them so that he can't do that.
Very well done by Sentinels.
But, I mean, a pure counter to what 100 Thieves is trying to accomplish there. I think 100 Thieves even did understand that that pit was going to be used in mid. That's why you saw them go for that fast approach rather than a much, more coordinated flash through ropes type of beat.
Killed.
Yeah, those are the best when you just spray into the void and rewarded with a kill.
It looks so crazy, but it's just because he's low from the pit. Asuna's like 20 HP.
Yeah.
So you commonly see that in those Viper ults. And we do switch, again, I'm really fascinated how pANcada's deciding to switch his orbs over and over and over. It's like there's 2 gears to the double controller setup that Sentinels is playing. And for good reason, 100 Thieves trying to abuse this mid. It's just not happening.
Oh, it's just so hard. You've got the wall and then the orb, and then once that's out, you've got an astral smoke you have to deal with.
What is this wall here from 100 Thieves? It's actually walling them from getting into sight. They have to go around the pillar.
They're intentionally wanting to take this fight. But the thing is, they're going to have to do a spawn, too. The first one good, the second traded right back.
Spike down, B.
And the thing is, timing on Heaven is going to be everything here.
Spike's fallen in the open right now underneath Heaven. And that smoke faded on top Heaven as well, so there's room here from zekken.
Just a warning shot.
You are divided.
Now the Cosmic Divide, but you still got Austin on the other side, yeah!
Last player standing.
100 Thieves with an excellent response. And again, an unconventional approach.
Just considering it.
Dude, you can tell 100 Thieves, they have come into this series, into this first week of the American split with just different stuff prepared. Like unconventional things. We talk so much about the double pinch on the sudden side and fracture. Now we see that plan attempt. That's, I mean, how often do you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that idea maybe one time. And that was a full, actually, billboard wall off. So even that just intricacy on how they're using the wall is interesting enough.
Right back into the action. 100 Thieves with 2 ults to their name. Op still in the hands of TenZ.
I think the creativeness of 100 Thieves is definitely on display at Lock-In as well, with the Omen on Icebox. So many of these ridiculous shot from TenZ. There is the res from Cryo, so this isn't that big of a deal. But it does allow TenZ to kind of reposition. Trailblazer doesn't spot him, but they don't know now. So with the control that actually zekken has on top of ramp as well, the fact that these cages haven't been popped from dephh, or from Stellar, excuse me. Awesome to continue to roam around, see where he can get a free pick.
Cage I've got your trail.
zekken hears all of that right now. He heard both of those players running up. So I think he's kind of should be aware, but no, he's falling all the way back. The rotate has been called.
Dude, they're taking the bait. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Asuna uses his showstopper to get on site. The wall goes up. And they, I mean, they have full control.
Yeah, but look at Stellar as well. He's not done with this A-hit. What?
dephh is.
How does that kill him? He's on stairs. What?
Derrek spotted too by the Trailblazer. Has to back up a bit. But you have to, I mean, you can't just forget about him there.
I mean, Asuna, or Derrek as well is, yeah, you're right. In that. Stellar too, they've got a double flank on this.
Yeah, you've got to.
Oh wait, they're losing players on site like flies.
They're still gonna have to turn around and deal with Derrek. They can't forget about him there. And it's actually TenZ who's able to keep him back to hold the line. 3 on the round. Stellar, the last one up.
It's not even really planned for him, and now TenZ knows. I mean, you saw 2 big possible win conditions there, and neither of them come to fruition, and both of them are because of TenZ.
Last round in the hat.
The game sense to actually watch for Derrek is ridiculous. Force the res out. Continue to hold them. That's a nasty shot from Bang.
Dude, the first 2 from TenZ were just nuts. Still has the op, 12 and 7. Has blades to work with this round too. Last round of the half. And the buy is, I mean, it's a bit hobbled together. A Bulldog for Cryo and a timeout called.
100 Thieves taking the last opportunity here to get this 6-6, which would be an insane half. A very good half. And I think all the reads, especially out of timeouts, have been really good. I think specifically about that pANcada ult round in mid, even though that didn't go their way. They're understanding the ideas and possibilities that are out there for the opposition.
Just so much depth in situations like this. But again, as you were saying, feeling the importance of the final round of the half. A 6-6 would be amazing, given what we've seen in the last 12 rounds.
When Sentinels have been winning the rounds, it's definitely been clean. I mean, on both sides. It's not like we're in a scrappy game. Scrappy like Fracture, definitely miles away from that. Back into it. All players grouped here from 100 Thieves over towards this A side.
It's interesting because they don't have a showstopper. They don't have a ton of that stuff. We'll see if they have like a gravel combo or something like that to go fast, but.
One of the things was that we've actually had zekken and pANcada trying to hold ramp.
Dude, they're just full clearing. They're just fully going here.
I mean, we've seen this before. The wall over towards ropes. Full clearing to heaven. TenZ is here, though.
Got the op still. He's hit some nasty flicks so far. Can he find another? The first peak, Cryo falls. And now the blade's online, but Stella plucks him out of the sky. 4v3 here, Asuna weak. Sacy waiting. It's tucked away. And that wall almost hurts him at this point.
Oh, that saw him for sure. Can he get out? It's the next question. The next step.
Yeah.
He does. Maintains the 4v3.
There's nothing but time to suggest that they would have rotated off, and with the jumping and everything like that, you can hear their still presence on A. But even with that, dephh being patient, rotating away. Sacy gets the first onto Stellar. Now the wall's been cleared. They can flip over, and dephh, excuse me, is ahead of the play if that's what they end up doing. They're just so heavily outnumbered.
Last player standing.
Yeah, Asuna falls.
These 1v1s that are happening are all going Sentinels' way, so clean to finish this out. Bring back up TenZ to make it a 5v1.
Like it wasn't hard enough already. Yeah. An attempt was made. A noble one at that. But just so difficult, even on the outside of the timeout.
Switching sides.
Sentinel's able to clean things up. We'll take a look at that one more time.
The amount of flexibility you lose when you lose bang through smoke like that is so high. So difficult to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it was a duo of zekken and TenZ getting kills right off the bat, opposite sides of the map. Very difficult to deal with. We're actually going to throw it down to Smix standing by for an interview. Smix, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Excited to stand here with Tarek and Nadeshot. I know historically you two are good buddies, but right now, that is definitely not the case. Not the case. I know you must be super stressed out, and we have a mini microphone here for you. What's going through your head right now, Nadeshot?
We're working out the kinks. 7-5, Sentinels looking good. I don't know. It's going to be a tough offense for us, or defense. Got to win a pistol round.
Yeah, no, Matt's been going through it next to me. He's, watching his team play, so it's been kind of fun to be comforting for him, but also be cheering for Sentinels. I don't want to kick him while he's down, so I am hoping for the best. I'm hoping for a 2-1 close series, Sen City, though.
This is kind of weird for me, Tarek, because word on the street is that you're a massive jinx whenever you do these watch parties.
Yeah, the jinx thing is a problem, and a lot of people do believe it, but hopefully today it doesn't come into effect. Just a close series is what I want, and I think Matt as well, but hopefully the boys turn up the second half. What do you think, Matt, is going to happen?
I mean, brother, we got Asuna on Raze. I'm ready to see something, brother. We got one ult kill on that side. That was great. I think the boys are going to lock in. Usually we're pretty good on pistol round. I think they're getting settled in. I haven't seen us play split in a long time, so I don't know what to expect on defense, but at least the games are close. I would have liked OT on Fracture. I think that would have set it off a little bit for the first match North America. Yeah. But I'm hoping the boys can pull this one out. We get a game 3 and have some more fun up here.
Absolutely. I think all the fans here would absolutely love to see a game 3 as well. Tarek, we have just a couple of seconds left. Any last words for everyone watching right now?
Go Valorant. Let's go, baby. Let's get hype in the chat. Big second half coming. Let's get it.
Dog and Bala, back to you.
Thank you, Smix. Thank you, Smix. Yeah, there's nothing quite like a Go Valorant to unite the people, to get them fired up for what's before them. Sentinels with the 2-round lead here. Second half of split before us. 617 days since the man has played Sage. That's a long time.
At Lockett, it felt like 617 days since he's played Jet, but, we're working it out for 100 Thieves. Definitely a lot of role ideas here. And like Nadeshot said, Asuna on Raze on defense, he could be a beast. He's that guy who could take over. It's been a long time, though, with the flexibility that the prior roster had.
Yeah, be careful here on how they choose to play this. If they try to wall up with him, oh no, he's backed up. They've left Cryo alone. I thought he was going to have help, but he's going to be overwhelmed.
Derrek in the back line, though, is able to trade that. He's actually watching for that as well.
I thought he was going to stay close, but you're right. Plays behind the box. Able to get the kill and then stay alive.
And none of that control up in Heaven taken at all. You can see this is classic Xset. This is classic dephh calling here, with the wall covering up deep in towards Heaven.
Really intended to allow you to burst out onto the site. Not as defaulty as the diagonal one. We'll see if that one makes an appearance, but for now, just a slight pause, momentary, but a pause nonetheless. Sentinels wait for utility to come back up and decide how they want to play the rest of this round.
Can't use this yet. Healing.
30 seconds left.
All that waiting for the heal to come back up has actually lost so much time right now.
Yeah.
Creeping up in Heaven.
It's silent. You can tell 100 Thieves don't believe that there's been a rotation. They're just able to stay here.
Look at the flank coming in from Stellar, though. 15 seconds. They should be able to get on site. I'm looking at pANcada. If he goes down, that's a major loss.
right, Stellar's timing here is everything. He's tucked behind the wall.
No, no.
Oh dear, The spike planted just in the nick of time. pANcada not able to find another.
But they did have to spend that time clearing him. You've actually gotten dephh all the way up in towards screens there.
Asuna weak. Sacy and dephh trying to keep this round up. Sacy creeping around. Oh my gosh, Asuna lands a shot. He had 50 HP and he gets both.
I mean, you heard it from the man himself, the owner. 100 Thieves said, usually we're pretty good on pistols, and that's a clean one. I love how they actually handled that wall up from Sentinels there. When Sacy threw that wall up, they had actually all 5 players jumping over it. Cryo gets one, he should there with a classic right click up close. But Derrek as well, playing all the way back behind that little flower pot box. And then Asuna too, just clean as they let him get on the site.
How does he get both? 100 Thieves with 2 rifles, 2 Phantoms, and then 3 Spectres, excuse me. A couple of early shots fired off. The nade gonna push him back. And just like that, garage control established. And even if they give it up, now it's on Sentinels to have to reinvest utility to clear that space. And it's not like they have a ton to begin with on this broken buy. This is actually so well played from 100 Thieves because there's the utility to clear out garage. Then you have a wall now you're gonna have to deal with too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard to split into B.
I mean, you saw the creativeness that they handled the anti-ecos with on Fracture. Here it's just solid. Solid play all through. Spike's not even on this side right now. Sentinel's just looking for picks.
Cryo seeing if the gravity well caught anyone. Wise to the fact that there's one close by. Bang gets 2 on the round. Cleans things up. And they are, it does look like they're going to be able to end up B. They have 2 sheriffs. First flash through. Zekken falling, and the spike is pretty far behind.
1 enemy remaining.
Yeah, pANcada's got to have so many angles to clear as soon as he pops out of the smoke, assuming that's what he chooses to do.
Left.
A couple seconds still left on it. Yeah. That's tough. Good reposition from Asuna there. Zekken had an opportunity there. When he flashed out of that smoke, he got around the pillar. I didn't think that Sentinels or 100 Thieves was actually going to fully consider that he could have been out once he slowed down and started walking. Where he came out of spawn there, handled it really, really easily. And we're all tied up. That's what I was saying. I think even the half that we got from 100 Thieves, super clean. And on the attack side of split, when you're facing a double controller comp, that was more than enough.
It's actually really impressive, you're right, that they've gotten to this point, not just because of compositions or everything, but at halftime, there wasn't a single member on the side of 100 Thieves who had more kills than deaths. For them to be in this fight is a testament to how well they've played the map, how well they've played individual situations.
Oh, Cryo's so concerned right now about players coming in through ropes because of that early B aggression that 100 Thieves went for. And he's gonna have to wall off top of ramp because of it.
So many trips. Yeah, you hit the first. There's a second one.
Oh, that nade! Is there gravel? No.
Oh, look at TenZ. Cheeky spot. Gets up top. I don't think they're expecting him there.
Spike
There's an ult here. Gonna clear out the other position. Asuna goes for another one.
4v2 here. 100 Thieves still okay here. They're still cozy. They still have control of the round. And pANcada way too much to do.
Here. Right there.
Again, such an impressive performance out of 100 Thieves. Have the lead at this point.
Things definitely working out for them here. On this defense side too, it's really starting to look like they're getting the team play really under control. Another spam kill. That's what gets him the ult. That's why he pops out. They'll go 2 for 1 on that. Asuna Raze is delivering. This is what I was saying on defense too. It's definitely where more impact can be had. You're not just using the nade as a resource during an execute. You're using it when you know where the players are coming from. Good denial there from Sentinels. On this eco, they shouldn't have that much utility, but they are able to use a slow and a stun. But 100 Thieves responds and pushes them back.
And gets the orb. Another one for Asuna.
You talk about, like, on rounds like this, when the economy is different on both sides, when it's very low buy for Sentinels, any forced utility out from them is hurting. You don't have as many resources as the full buy on 100 Thieves. Well, speaking of that, they've actually invested quite a lot of utilities. Zekken still has his Trailblazer, 2 flashes. The thing that's missing here is actually stars from dephh. Wondering if they're recalled cycled right now.
Camera cleared out. Stellar waiting close by. Reinforcements and backup by the name of Stellar. Or Derrek, excuse me. He's just waiting, and he hears all of that. But he's patient. The leader of 100 Thieves. Playing this so well.
30 seconds
dephh falls
left.
and he doesn't even swing the gravity well. Again, patience out of Stellar. Now he swings out. He's able to get one. The spike falls, but
he's updrafted.
I mean, those sheriff from Sentinels are keeping things close. It's a 3v3 here. 13 seconds left, and the spike is just now making its way out onto the site. You've got TenZ who's trying to push the pace, continue to press the matter. Are they going to have time to get it down?
Blocking sight.
Yep.
Is there anything to interrupt? How have they gotten into this? It's a 1v1. Sacy's weak, and he lands that shot!
That mid-round was handled so well from Sentinels.
We are fighters.
With just the sheriffs, those things are still so dangerous, no matter what iteration of this team you have. That wall as well from Sacy up late, where they're all falling away. TenZ updrafting here, getting a kill. If he doesn't get that wall off, they don't get into sight. They don't get there.
Unreal from Sacy. And that gets us at 8 apiece.
And Sentinels have full shifted towards that more diagonal wall that you were pointing out was a possibility, so they can threaten these lurks. Right away, you see 100 Thieves trying to get a camera up above this wall and re-clearing so much, bringing the heat towards pANcada. He gets stunned. Oh.
They're going hunting. This is a dangerous game you're playing. You don't know if anyone else is there, but they commit to it anyway, and they're rewarded for their pursuits. Oh, that's gonna spot so much! Holy smokes, Asuna gets 2, not able to get the 3rd, but the damage has been done. You still haven't cleared out Bang on side either.
But these Seekers are actually trolling right now. TenZ almost got all the way up in spawn. They were so confused about where he was coming from.
Oh, but I mean, look at where the spike just died. How does Sacy get through that? The transfer not able to secure the second. 100 Thieves take the lead back.
Quick response right away. The fact that pANcada goes down actually when he gets away there. That one definitely hurts, but great on 100 Thieves to recognize, okay, you shifted in this, you're going to threaten the lurk. That means if we take the fight to you, you're going to be a lot closer than if you were just watching for a push from us.
Dude, that neural theft. So huge to allow Asuna to get those.
The fact that he's hiding in that smoke entirely.
Yeah. Oh, and then also Sentinels pushing a smoke when they're being tagged by neural theft.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Control on the top of the ramp. They've swapped the wall over towards B instead. And the orb as well.
Cheeky wall, but look at how much mid control 100 Thieves have set.
No, he's gonna up. Oh. Thing is, he's not ever gonna be able to actually challenge Derrek there fast enough.
Yeah.
Because he's all the way behind that wall.
Just not enough there. 10 swings out.
Slow in the satchel as well, keeping them way far back. They can't even cross up to take the fight towards Derrek.
pANcada's on an island here too. I don't know how they're gonna do this.
I think right now with the reds coming in, with the wall going in as well, they just invested their Astral Wall as well. 100 Thieves fully thinks that this is going to be an A hit, and it might very well be, but look at pANcada all the way on the other side of the map.
Bang is waiting for it though. Slowly creeping away. The timing on that's gonna be huge. Meanwhile, Sentinels find 2 massive kills on the site. Now Seekers to work with 2. They're gonna go back deep.
Oh wait, look at this smoke here from Bang.
Well, the wall's gone. This is big. 2 massive kills from Sentinels again.
Just ripped them apart. Both of these rounds where the pivot is coming in through spawn to B from either of these teams has worked out. And we're staying stuck to each other. 9-9 as Stellar falls. Identical in the closeness from Fracture.
You really see, and that's one of the things I love about this map is you see all the mid-rounding on Split just provides some of the best moments.
The map control that is possible is so cool. I mean, you saw from 100 Thieves on their attack side, the fact that they're taking deep A having control so often, you saw it represented there as well from Sentinels. So timeout from 100 Thieves, get things back under control, understand the different variations that you have that Sentinels is bringing out against you. And start to get these anchors rolling. I think there Stellar gets ultimate pressure on him. That is so difficult to contain. Consistently coming up through Heaven, where he's playing on site, or at least trying to hold on. You really don't have many options there. You have to rely on your teammates to be rotating through Heaven.
Right.
And I think especially after they get that first kill on a TenZ, who's playing outside of that smoke, they really did not understand, again, the ideas that Sentinels have with that res alive and how much that wall is going to contribute to be able to get it back up. You see them scramble to actually rotate back onto the site with the Astral Wall as well invested. 2 Buckies here from 100 Thieves. It's split. Hey, it's split. Those can do some work.
Again, the aggressive Viper wall on A to suggest a hard hit. As you see how they're set up on the minimap, there's no intention of that, at least yet.
It's interesting that no util thrown back from 100 Thieves there. When there was that slow last time, there was a slow on the other side too. And a smoke trying to hold on to B main.
I have this fight.
So we got the double wall out. All on to Stellar right here. He's got the Bucky in the smoke.
Now they know what's waiting on the other side, the gravity world there, and you see TenZ try to get aggressive and take some space, but it is the Bucky and the showstopper from Asuna. They're still trying to dance around the walls that they've set for themselves. Zekken establishing some heaven control, but there are so many members on the other side. Asuna with 3. Sacy once again left to be a hero. Much more difficult situation here. 37 HP. The spam through, clip running dry, and he's surrounded. Done and dusted. A thrifty round win for 100 Thieves as they take the lead back.
And it's the Bucky that does it too.
You teed it up, man.
It's ridiculous too. The fact that they don't throw util there, I think especially Sentinels is trying to say, okay, hey, we're defaulting here. We throw slow over towards B main. And the fact that we see like somebody spamming at least on that side, the one Vandal, by the way, in the round, spamming on that side, indicates to them, okay, let's go back towards this fast hit towards A. You call out the wall. Definitely in the past, hasn't necessarily been a tell, but so far in this game, that wall definitely leading towards the other side. Oh, slow missed. They're just chasing him down.
They still want to go.
And we've seen this before. pANcada last time had to fall through sewers, and that's what ultimately costed him. This time he falls much deeper.
Yeah, this defensive aggression is becoming a trademark of 100 Thieves. Again, we saw it on Fracture a ton. We see it now here on Split.
I think especially when you see Asuna on Raze, that is part of his comfort, right? Playing aggressive.
Yeah, Asuna go kill.
Using his movement to his advantage. Using the hectic situations and his shaky aim, which is a trademark of his that makes it look so good. Honestly, the story on this game has shifted from Cryo versus TenZ to Asuna leading the way. He was top fragging on Fracture as well. And waiting here, close to this trip, ready to pounce on A side. Sacy with a wall. He might be very crucial to a spawn pinch. Oh, he made
30
noise.
seconds left.
They're gonna go anyway. pANcada close by. He has the Viper's pit too. But they don't clear Derrek. They still haven't cleared Derrek. Austin is able to find 2. The nade there, I mean, he doesn't have to do a thing because his teammates around him are cleaning things up. But if they get past the defenses, you should be able to find so much value. Always spotted by dephh.
12 seconds. Asuna can stop the cross. Oh,
not able to do so. Not able to find the second. And Zekken wins him out. Now the res brings him back. 5 HP for Zekken. And Sacy gets 3. Asuna Asuna not able to do it the fourth for him as we're tied at 10.
He is absolutely insane.
He's been a monster.
The guy's just different. 21 and 12 on Sage. And it's been moments like that too. Multi-kills from Sacy. This is absurd.
So steady, man.
Gets the position as well during the reload. He's comfortable here in LA. Very comfortable.
Here.
Viper's Pit still to work with for pANcada. Note here, Asuna 1 point away from the showstopper too.
He's already gotten, what, 2 on this half?
I believe so, yeah.
Each time he's getting a kill. It's a stark difference from Cryo's raise at lock-in where there was like not a single showstopper kill.
It's interesting here. I wondered if they would try to set up Asuna to get this orb. And I thought they'd do it quickly, but...
Late round is fine too.
Yeah.
In fact, it's even harder to really anticipate how it's going to be used. Now you're panicking and thinking, okay, how do we do this? The answer's good here from Sentinels. Go fast back towards A. We know Asuna's on the other side of the map.
No more.
Yeah, but he's running over there as well. Timing here is going to be big. pANcada not able to find anything. And there it is. The showstopper, the smoke right there! TenZ tries dashing away, not able to do so.
Orb up. He's gonna get one, if he gets 1 kill or picks up this orb, he can go for the res and they can go for the hit still. I wonder if 100 Thieves has considered this.
I mean, they're just so surrounded here. It's just Stellar by himself. Look where the rest of 100 Thieves are.
There it is. There it is. He has the spike though, so they wanted to plant as well. He doesn't really have the room right now.
Yeah, do you get the spike down? Do you bring a teammate back?
And that wall is not going to be actually able to be used for him to get off site. This res is not going to be used. It's not a factor.
Zekken has to find a lot here. Flash soaring by. The spam through and he lands one onto Asuna, gets away, preserves his life. Dueling flashes and Derrek wins that one out. Now a 3v2 here. Both remaining members of Sentinels on the side trying to hold the line, and dephh! The flick is clean, but Cryo's is cleaner!
It has become the battle of sages here, Cryo. 2 kills, 2 massive kills. 100 Thieves maintain the lead. This is where it all went wrong on Fracture. Massive economic swing round. Remember those 2 kills that Sentinels got late in that to clean up the saved weapons. And it's a honestly similar situation here. But it's all or nothing here. Sentinels got a little bit of a bank. They're going for light armor. Look at this. 2 players have more than enough money to go for full armor, but making sure they can buy next round.
Yeah, we're getting to crunch time.
Poison orb emitting.
pANcada hasn't found a way to find this Viper's Pit. You mentioned it last round. He's had it for like 3 now. Last time he got picked off early, and you can see he's not interested on threatening this lurk anymore. 100 Thieves has had full control of that ability. TenZ is known to walk through slows. I mean, I could definitely see it coming.
Oh, that nade's gonna be good. That's gonna hurt, man. Healed up though. As the second slow delays things longer.
Derrek just threw a flash all the way up towards top ramp, clearing that space. So they're not really concerned about a super flank from pANcada. But this late wall from Cryo right now. They're considering walling up, but instead gonna go for breaking it. And remember, you've gotten 2 slows out already. You've gotten the nade out, so they're happy to continue to push this.
Asuna just satcheled back over to be as quickly as he could. He's now on the scene. And can he find the value? No! It was just rushing to his death. 5v3 here, first Sentinels. The flash in the face of Cryo. Not able to find any value. Sacy with the plant.
What a dash for TenZ to find that second kill there. 5v3, and they're still not even investing this pit.
Welcome
there it comes.
Little did they know there was no attempt, or there was really no intention for 100 Thieves to try to retake anyway.
You're right.
They had caught for the save moments before he had invested it.
With no sound being called right now at all. I wonder if they start chasing. The more time goes off, the more likely all these guns are going to be saved. And it's going to be such a difference. I mean, we saw in Fracture how much that hurt when 100 Thieves lost all these weapons. Lost them the game. We're in identical scenarios. There's no chasing here. So 3 weapons this time. 100 Thieves has 2 rounds to play with the economy.
See what kind of ults they have to work with. dephh is going to have his Cosmic Divide too, but I want to look at this, yeah, one more time.
This dash, this is what I was talking about.
The dash was so good.
They got a stun from the sky there that allows TenZ to actually follow up on that. That's massive.
Yeah, all smiles from zekken too. You can tell he set him up.
I mean, they're having fun. They're on the verge of 2-0ing here in opening day.
Same Viper setup we've seen the last few rounds, the orb, the wall, and the threat, really. Now note, in the last round, Derrek invested almost all of his utility in making sure that there was no push-up, and there we just saw a flash from him again.
The reclearing mid from 100 Thieves, dogging through. Let's see what dephh finds.
Do they take space? Do they follow the dog?
I mean, they're peeking it. Sentinel's still not making any noise. They've got an Astral here that could definitely get them on site. I mean, all grouped up here. deph's gonna send it.
You are divided.
Stun, the dash,
the nade missed. The nade was in the slow that could have caught 3 people, but it missed.
TenZ, how cheeky do you get here? Gorgeous.
Great flash for him too.
And you can tell the synergy between those two is just so on point right now. Sacy finding one too. Dude, these 2 duos of Sentinels, they're terrifying. That was a little scary too. Turns out Derrek can do a bit of his own. Second on the swing. He's just spammed open, he gets a second! Derrek's so weak here.
Found one. Here.
I mean, what do you do? Nothing. Nothing you can do.
Second just headshot him with a classic through the smoke.
Everything just seems to be coming in pairs.
Said it was a day of first. Maybe it's a day of duos. Of pairs.
Derrek finding 2, zekken there with an excellent response.
Right clicks on the spam. He knew it was low HP too.
It's going to require overtime if we want to get to Ascent. And the buy for 100 Thieves is not great.
This is not great from 100 Thieves. They almost delayed the inevitable by saving those weapons. At least they got a Bulldog. At least they got 1 Vandal. Still have the res, and the ults are cascading for Sentinels over and over. They just have 1 that's going to be so huge.
I've got your trail.
Yeah. The thing is, they just have to survive 1 round.
Concealment.
And all of that resets. Meanwhile, Sentinels looking to put him away right now. What can Derrek do to hold the line? You've got Bane close by, but he's been stunned. He needs help.
This is long range.
Is he gonna provide? Is he gonna survive? He does! The Stinger finds value. Derrek's close by, but can Sentinel snatch around back. 3v2, the Blade looking for a target, looking for value, and it's down low. The second almost falls, but it's no good. Overtime on the cards.
This match is delivering
overtime
so hard. Sacy with magic, Derrek with magic.
Dude, and the value that Bang finds here, again, behind the box, they know where he is.
Yeah.
He is a Stinger, man. Huge plays from him.
And TenZ as well following up, trying to just punish Derrek in backside. You can tell they're starting to really feel this energy of the arena here. Starting to feel the situation they're in, bringing it back to overtime. Starting to get comfortable on stage. No matter what opening day, you're going to have a little bit of jitters.
Both teams settling in. You see the satchel over the gravity well, and he still gets a kill onto TenZ. Hey, that's Asuna on Raze, yeah. You see why?
It's very nice to watch. They're gonna re-clear though. They're gonna re-clear and find him. He's gone out of the equation. Heals back up as well. By zekken, look at the push from dephh. Stellar looks like he kind of understands that it's a possibility. But it's crazy too because He should be the B anchor. They've walled him over. He's walking into Swords. dephh!
He finds nothing. And now the wall cleared out. The threat of pushing through mail back on the table. But it's all going to be a hit onto B. Derrek lagging behind just a little bit, and you imagine he's going to push in through heaven. Meanwhile, the rest of his team funnels out of garage. zekken trying to hold the line. One traded back for another. Can Sacy find any value? Can he find the timing? He's creeping forward. He's got it. But Cryo now wise to it.
30 seconds left.
And Derrek again in heaven. But Sacy's in heaven as well. Can pANcada get this 1v2? That molly should connect.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Bang takes some damage, but the spike's still planted. pANcada playing up top in heaven. They're swinging both at the same time, and oh my gosh, I thought he was gonna hit it. But Cryo saves the day.
Switching sides.
That adjustment was there from pANcada. That was very close.
Dude, I thought he was good for it.
Blocking vision.
This was it right here. dephh had an opportunity. It's insane that they understood the situation there. The fact that, yeah, somebody could have been through mid with the wall. I'm wondering if maybe he made a step.
Oh,
and Stellar was able to hear him earlier in the round.
Yeah, because as you were just saying, it was Stellar who was just there, and he had just left that space. He had just turned away from it.
Well, don't forget, too, there was nobody on B. It was dephh. That was the guy who was the anchor. They rotated all towards A because of that early satchel push from Asuna.
Dang, her hair got pulled out. Was that what I saw?
I was trying to
Oh, it is so good to have a full arena here, is it not? I mean, come on. And what a treat has been gifted for the opening match. Overtime on the second one. The first map was close. It's just been so good. This roster of Sentinels really coming to form. Again, you see how the project really comes to fruition and how threatening they've been. And 100 Thieves, obviously. I mean, they can dance with the best of them.
I think the idea of them threatening is absolutely what we were all expecting in the offseason. It's like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
If it does, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Can't wait to get this answer throughout the rest of the season. Already, you think definitely a chance. The dephh was touching on. They went out in one at lock-in. They played Fnatic. That was the winner.
Unlucky, really.
Unlucky, really.
Here.
Let's see it. First match point, or map point for 100 Thieves. Even though this has been a very close series.
It's interesting here. The orb's going to land on the other side of the stage.
Oh my
wall.
goodness.
And look at that cam.
Spots him, but Asuna's taking a fight to him.
It's there. Yep. Man, that's good.
That's what I was saying. The team play really coming into fruition there. 3 players involved in that one. Stellar spotting him on the feed. Derrek flashing for Asuna, getting up close, and TenZ just left with nothing after the initial push from him to get up there. They broke the wall earlier, so they don't have to spend any sort of information or give up any information.
No, the one thing they've given up here is time. 50 seconds left on the round. Asuna with a big nade. I mean, that's all right in front of them.
They're gonna creep through. 40 seconds.
They don't have a choice, and Asuna just spam into the smoke, yeah.
3v5 to hold on.
Interesting wall.
Oh, pANcada got up.
They still have some presence backside, though. Cryo hasn't been cleared. And with 30 seconds left, I don't know that there's enough time to flip the map. That's clean, and now Showstopper online from Asuna. 3 kills on the round. pANcada trying to find something, and he does onto Stellar. Just zekken and pANcada left.
Haven't cleared sight yet.
To try to get us to another one, and I don't know that they'll be able to. zekken gets one, but that's all it's gonna be. 14-12 in favor of 100 Thieves. We're going the distance, Balla.
All 3 maps in what is sure to be a rivalry in the years to come. First match for the Americas League. Sentinels versus 100 Thieves. The sweetheart orgs of America, North America. And they're delivering on this stage right now. You're talking about the questions, the idea of the roster for Sentinels. Looking very threatening. But 100 Thieves was the team leading into this that looked fully fleshed out, that looked like it made sense. And here they are responding. Absolutely in kind. A great understanding on how to play split. Great first half from them. They close it out.
Again, we got to talk about how good Sacy was that map, man. Sacy saved the day for Sentinels so many times.
Yeah, he's the reason why they were really in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the players contributed there. It was Sacy adding 2 zekken and TenZ. Both of those guys were still on. Don't get me wrong.
Dude, that flick,
how does he do it?
I genuinely, sometimes I watch and I go, I don't know how he does that. I just don't get it.
And don't forget, 100 Thieves was in a tough economic position at the end of this regulation.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
ridiculous that they were able to hold on for that long in the first place.
I mean, that 4K from Sacy, so good. But this, I mean, Bang's, I know I talked about it earlier, but the value that Bang found there got them to that point. And again, just an excellent performance out from 100 Thieves. We've got a set on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
This is the reason why you want to tune into VCT Americas each and every week, people. Matches just like this. It doesn't get better. 100 Thieves Sentinels taking us to map 3 after 100 Thieves close. That went out with an overtime victory, 14-12. Golden Moore here alongside Brandon Mimi. Guys, I mean, overall, I think this is exactly what we would have wanted from this really hype clout matchup of two teams who have massive fan bases, but also incredible ideas. And we're seeing it play out here, Mimi.
Yeah, again, we're starting to see both of these teams' ideas really come to form. And I think in this matchup, so much about that map was really about these two IGLs coming up with ideas, being incredibly back and forth. But it was 100 Thieves to close out. And overall, I felt like they played a much cleaner game across the board. You see how many of those first kills they were getting, how many of those openers that were working really well for them. Yeah. But Sen was still scrappy enough to be able to make that match so incredibly close.
Yeah, well, we've always talked about the player quality of the Sentinels players, like pulling out these magical moments. I mean, that was coming out time and time again, wasn't it, over the course of this map? But ultimately, like, you think about the edge, just on such a narrow margin between both of these teams, 100 Thieves have been winning these pistol rounds consistently. I think 4 out of 4 so far in this series. They didn't win the first map, but they win this one. You think it goes a very different direction. Sentinels probably kicking themselves a little bit, but it's one of the things that 100 Thieves have been doing particularly well. This is a really great set strategy that they tried multiple times, but I really like it best on the pistol round because it's so difficult to chew through that Sage Wall when they place it up towards heaven, and they have magical crossfires. They have a late lurk setup as well. And, you know, Sentinels are good with their retakes that they've showcased, I think, over the course of the series, but you just can't, you know, you can't play fast enough, honestly, when you're up against the Ashton Util late. But this round in particular, Mimi, this was also interesting.
Yeah, you can see some of the adaptation. 100 Thieves is a team that is now showing us some of those preset plays that you were talking about, but also these scrappier mid-rounds with Stellar calling some great ideas. This one was an eco where they go fast, take that mid-control, but then in the late round, they have this great adaptation to push into spawn, recover those weapons, and they end up winning out. And that was our question for 100 Thieves. Are they this team that's really focused on the set executes, the ideas, or are they one that's willing to get super focused on the mid-rounds and having an IGL like Stellar who can find them those crazy moments? But I think this map was one where they really bridged the gap and managed to show us that middle ground.
Yeah, but you know what, though? You know what helps out a little bit more? When you got a guy who pops off.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like the way Asuna did in that last game, maybe, because my boy was out there. It felt good to see him back on Raze doing his thing, the thing that we know he's capable of doing. But this guy absolutely ripped through everyone that went in his way.
Yeah, I think you can compare the impact that Asuna was able to find versus TenZ on the jet. This Raze just did so much for 100 Thieves, especially on their defensive side. They were consistently finding value out of these nades and shutting down executes. And on top of that, he's just popping off individually.
Yeah, and also playing off of the cam setups as well. I kind of mentioned it as we were heading into the agent select, but having that Cypher cam to play off of Asuna as well, he's incredibly comfortable on this role. He was always using his satchels to hold down like the main control, stop people from pushing through smokes and taking heaven control, and just full confidence from this guy. I mean, absolutely stellar performance across the board from, and I did not intend that at all, by the way. But, yeah, that was not intentional, GP. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to drift into any sort of dad jokes at this point. But the guy was popping off, and it is part of that comfort, but also part of that team play element and having that sort of middle ground that we're talking about, that balancing act that 100 Thieves had where they couldn't quite get it going for them in lock-in, where they were playing a little bit too more loose, not having enough of those set strategies, but it felt like it really came alive here, and you felt that manifest just from looking at Asuna's performance.
Yeah, and for me, a lot of the issues that we were seeing with Sentinels, I think did come back to the composition. They wanted comfort for TenZ, which I don't think is a bad decision, but it didn't feel like he had all the tools to set him up. When you're playing Jet on this map, particularly on attacking side, you don't have that utility to fall back on for clearing space, getting information, so you have to be diving in, and they really only had the Sky to support him. No breach stun to get that early space, and so often he was losing these early fights, and Sen was good enough to recover from those moments, but it still felt like that composition was something that really caused them problems on their attack.
Yeah, it felt more like they could have eked out that win, potentially, but it would have been more of a fault on 100 Thieves, I think, if they would have let that, because I like what they had. I like what they were showing us a little bit better there, and so far, everything has gone according to plan here, right? Like, you know, Sentinels, they're going to be able to win their map, 100 Thieves walk away with their map, but now we set the stage. We get ready for map 3. We have Ascent on the horizon. It's going to be the decider here between this absolute banger of a matchup. Don't want to say gigabanger, Brent.
Sure, yeah.
Because I don't want to offend you.
We're killing the term.
We're killing the term here in America.
For you bringing it up is unkillable.
No. I'm not. I'm just simply contributing to the death of gigabanger.
We're going to move on. We're going to expand the lexicon.
This is a simple, good, wholesome match of Valorant. Isn't that right, Brent?
I like that, yeah. I mean, it's going the distance between these teams. Ascent is a great decider map for this one because I think it's really going to be showcasing these teams tested. We're going to see that continuation of the storyline that we just keep hitting and hammering home for 100 Thieves about the balancing act. hopefully we get to see Cryo on the Jet. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer if you're heading into Ascent as well, and how that head-to-head matchup is going to be existing with a player like TenZ, because it's much easier, I think, to get your own way when you're playing Jet on a map like Ascent compared to Split, where you need to be set up a lot more, which was your point before, Mimi.
Yeah, and I'm really wondering about what the roles are going to look like on this map. Pretty much every team plays the same composition. You got your Killjoy, your Sova, your KO, your Jet, and then the Omen. Almost everyone is running that composition. Maybe we see something creative, but I'm not expecting it. More so I'm wondering who's playing the controller for the side of Sentinels. Is this role swap with Sacy over on that controller role going to continue? Because thus far this series, I've actually been impressed with what he's pulled out there, and it will. He's picking into the Omen here.
Interesting, yeah. And so deph's going to be playing that initiator, which is a role that he has played in the past as well, but it puts him kind of at the focal point to set up a lot of his plays. So pANcada sticking to that Sentinel on the Killjoy as well. And for 100 Thieves, they're running an interesting comp there, the double controller. So they're actually running the Viper as well on Ascent, which is really unusual. I'm going to be curious to see how that works.
Loud ran this at Locken, and it was really cool. The orb in mid on your attacking side, being able to put it up and down as you choose, is so good for taking that space. And snake bites for main control provide a lot on this map. 100 Thieves is cooking some stuff up, and I'm here for it.
Okay, before we send it to the casters, who do you have? Who's winning this?
I like this comp. I think they have something good, Prep.
Nate will be very happy with you.
I'm sticking with my Pred, yeah, 100 Thieves.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. I'm kind of going Sentinels.
I mean, it's been so close, it could go either way.
It really is.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling Sentinels a little bit here, but honestly, who knows?
I mean, we get TenZ versus Cryo, Jet head-to-head for the first time this series, really just closing it out in perfect fashion.
I know. It's so great. But we have one more map, and it's all on the line. Hoodie sales hinge on a win here, so let's go ahead and send it back over to Doug and Bala for the call.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, to go to map 3 in this series to kick things off is really what all the people wanted, what we ultimately wanted, if we're going to be honest. And it's just so much more exciting. But I do think, Mimi was talking about it on desk, the composition choices going into this, the fact that you're running a Viper on Ascent is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many teams now experiment with this Viper on Ascent. Yeah. It's been done over and over, both in the EMEA and by teams here in America. Loud, you saw how they were using that on Ascent. That used to be one of their best maps. It still is, and it's because they're creating, they're cooking it up. And 100 Thieves is no stranger to it. Right off the bat, we're gonna have to analyze exactly how it's happening. The one difference, I think, in the comp that Loud ran and the 100 Thieves one is running is that there's a Sova instead of a Sky. I think the Sky is a solo initiator. Can be used, well, it's not a solo initiator in this case as well. There's no Killjoy being used from 100 Thieves as well, so there's definitely some differences.
Early bit of util traded by both sides. Cryo, worse for wear. Comes out of that a little battered, a little tattered. We'll see how they choose to play around this Viper utility that we were just talking about. An early wall towards B.
Yep, this is one of the key tenets of what this was actually being used for. Cryo's gonna go with a flash, and dephh is full blind on that hit.
I mean, that would have been really cool if it worked. Meanwhile, the spike is still over towards A. So, I mean, yes, you don't get a kill, but you do draw some of the pressure over from the aggressive hit. But now they've gotten on A.
52 HP there from Stellar. Nice shot from TenZ. They get both initial picks, which was a complete difference on Split as well.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know that... Well, I won't say it. I don't want to jinx him. I don't want to jinx him. Stellar and Bang, the two that remain. And they get cleaned up. I want to say that's the first pistol.
Yeah,
Sentinels win. Yeah, that's huge.
First pistol for Sentinels here.
See, I am learning the power and the curse. You saw I hesitated. I'm like, nah, let's not.
dephh with 4K there. I was not expecting that at all. Just the frenzy, just going crazy. The first kill, I think, gave him just insane confidence because he just swung outdoor, able to deal with the flank very easily as well. After the one kill comes in. It was a cool idea to go for this fake, especially if Cryo gets a kill here. What?
Yeah, I'd have confidence after that too, bro. I feel real good if I got that kill.
Yo. That is okay. dephh.
Hey, it's a huge start.
He's the pistol round king, I guess, after that. Threatening this one way. Some pressure applied here to 100 Thieves early. No wall used yet for Stellar.
Oh, they may check this anyway. Yeah, they both jump out. And they survive.
He's doing a great job here. Just holding them back, understanding what's coming. dephh is actually going to give up that nade angle, though. All he was using it was in case they go for a fast push after the first contact was held.
Quick note here, 3 Bulldogs for Sentinels. And again, just patience out from 100 Thieves.
Oh, this wall allows them to kind of walk up on the right side of the map. Really apply pressure to Sacy, but he could fall back too.
That flash over the top was really nice as well. Sacy, there's a pressure that you mentioned, and well...
Spike down A.
The shots from the Bulldog are clean.
What a spray transfer.
And then TenZ obviously getting 2 with the Sheriff certainly helps things. A flawless round out from Sentinels. They don't just win the pistol, they win the second as well.
I need to see Cryo really work at getting this op up very fast. When I think of 100 Thieves and I think of Ascent, I don't know why, the first thing that comes to mind is Cryo ripping into 100 Thieves when he used to play against them. So he is a monster on this map. And Asuna on that Raze last map, he's not playing that same type of agent. He's not going to be taking as many opening duels. 11 and 3 on split though. That was a huge reason why they were able to win. It was 17-9. 400 Thieves. Asuna contributing 10. Right here. Throughout the series so far, it is absurd.
Cheeky here, they were able to get an alarm bot down just on the other side of the wall. And TenZ tried.
See his reaction
there.
too.
Yeah.
Surprised at that shot at all. Love the drone going up there as well, trying to catch pANcada. Bangs the first guy out.
Your entry omen, of course. dephh trades it out though. 4v3 here, still in favor of 100 Thieves. They've gotten the spike too, and it just went from good to better.
Spike planted.
Right here. Great anti-bonus so far.
I mean, really excellent. You want to get out of this as cleanly as possible.
Derrek instantly working this Odin too. On a wall, on a map like Ascent with these walls, how they are.
If things stand the way they will, Asuna and Stellar won't have to buy armor as well. Again, to kind of continue this point of the financial advantage of 100 Thieves to be able to get out of this as cleanly as possible, to keep weapons, to keep armor, and carry into the next round.
Good exits here. Sacy's not gonna be able to find anything. And he
Ooh, just out of reach.
Yeah, he can survive here depending on where the spike's planted. That's huge.
Yeah. TenZ will get another shot.
TenZ going for the early peek there. One thing that the wall gives you is allows that fight to be 100% isolated. Usually somebody's playing on the boathouse, the switch area, maybe down lane as well, where TenZ can fall back into them. But in this case with this wall, how it is, he's by himself. Let's see where he chooses to go.
Right here.
At the Odin on the side of Zekken too.
Standing ahead.
Derrek not finding anything early on.
That is completely off of just knowing the positions that players are going to dart from, that players are going to spam from.
I mean, what do you do with that?
That is, Zekken didn't even spam, by the way, at that beginning of the round. He knew Derrek had an Odin in his hands, knew that there was going to be a little bit of danger. So he's not giving up that he has an Odin, that he's even going for that.
Stella not everyone shots. Derrek hitting another one. That's 2 with the Odin now.
A very greedy way to try to get back into this round here from Sentinels. Walking up Cat, I think with one person going for it, especially if it was TenZ, for example, maybe you can get escape. But that there is your smoker and your initiator. And TenZ's op is going to be a non-factor in this round.
pANcada smoked off. Does have some info. He knows they're there.
And not die through the smoke with the spam here. He's going to go for it. Has to give some room to TenZ to maybe find a different weapon.
Yeah. Or at least play safely enough to where if things go a little sideways, he can keep the op.
Spike planted.
I mean, his movement right now is indicating to me that he is going to do that. Just in spawn, walking slightly further back to literally where his opponents start the round. Yeah, full save here. And that is, again, just, I mean, that early pick against Zekken. I'm not sure as well how or where they're getting the information about what pANcada's position is and how he's using his util. But they made the right choice of rotating back over towards B. TenZ, I think, wasn't even... Oh, pANcada, he's close.
Is he gonna get challenged?
Oh, they know he's close too now that that alarm bot is actually up in this.
Yeah, but he could be anywhere. He's not gonna get challenged at all. That's wild. Either way, that gets us to 2 apiece. You mentioned TenZ saving the op, still has it this round.
Right here.
Yeah. I mean, that's just.
I want to see Zekkens.
Me too. That's exactly.
I mean, that's how it feels when you get owned into a wall. It's the blowback. Cryo's actually updrafted already pre-round, so you can get a fast peek with this flash off the opposite ledge with the one way.
He goes up. There it is. The flash is there. He swings around. 2 spotted. Oh, it's tempting. I know it's tempting. He wants it. It's just on the other side too. But the smoke once again provides some cover.
That's sight given. TenZ taking a lot of space. It's up to Stellar to hold him off.
And he knows. He knows. He's waiting for it, but TenZ lands a shot.
dephh has the null command for retake too. So gonna shut down a lot of the counter flashes. Potentially shocks as well. Oh, Bang is ulted all the way off site right now.
Well, I think they had to because the fact that Stellar died. So they have to consider this. Meanwhile, the fight is going to continue on the site. The ult has been used. Cryo's able to hold them back with 2, not able to land the 3rd. Can pANcada do a bit of that? Sacy dropping down. Asuna drops him. pANcada's left in this 1v2.
Oh, good smoke from Bang. He can rotate all around that smoke as soon as Asuna takes a contact. He's not actually doing it though. He fell back and aim in. pANcada has a chance.
He's got it down to 1v1, but time is going to be the big issue here. Bang spams. And the round is secured.
Had to go for half there, so Bang instantly spamming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing he can't fight back. Great round. And also just to TP out of that situation, I'm wondering if Sacy was still up in that case. I know they were worried about the TenZ flank, but there's no way he continues on that flank with the op. I mean, I say no way, but it's definitely something you got to consider.
Or maybe not even him, but if he wasn't alone, he had somebody with him.
He could pick up that Vandal too, or whatever it was, in Stellar's hands. And somehow, some way, we're still getting some weapons in the hands of the Sentinels players, even though they've been losing round after round.
1 kill gets some blades. And you just mentioned a couple of rounds ago his ability to play through this, but Bang!
And that is timing there. Bang is going for that TP anyways, I think, especially with this orb. Mimi mentioned it on the desk before we went into this game. How flexible you can be. And look at the coverage as well. Bang keeping the smoke up, threatens this mid push and isolates anybody who wants to actually push through.
Right here.
This is cool from Sentinels. They're grouped actually in front of the wall on top of the turret. That's a recipe for an easy kill. But
yeah, but there it is, the ult. Could be all the difference. Asuna with the flash down, allowing the dash out from Cryo. Bang pushing his way forward. Keep a close eye on Sacy on the flank. It may not matter. It may be too soon before he gets here. You see Bang swinging around, getting a 3rd with it. And yeah, Sacy's going to show up, but I mean, it's a bit too late.
Spike planted.
Doesn't even have a gun. 4 on the round for Bang, and 4 on the board for 100 Thieves.
As soon as the guns have come up, it's just been so clinical. And it's continuing that trend that I mentioned at the beginning of this game. 17-9, first kills to first deaths. 400 Thieves on split. And it's the same sort of pattern.
Spike down, B.
Hey, that's just criminal that he gets that one.
The shorty's pretty good.
That's a confident smirk if I've ever seen one either. Timeout called here by Sentinels. A small lead, but a lead nonetheless.
I don't even necessarily, outside of that one round right there with the orb, isolating TenZ, the Viper hasn't necessarily provided so much. Maybe the pistol round as well. From 100 Thieves. These executes are just really good from them. And the patience they have to wait for it. I think specifically the round as well where Cryo fast updrafts and gets on A 2 rounds ago. They're making it very, very clean.
Man, poor guy signs upside down. Someone tell him. I got you, bud. But yeah, no,
I'm looking at TenZ here, Doug.
Yep.
The entire time he's been trying to get a sniper up, trying to get a marshal, trying to get a kill. And unfortunately, the only time he does find some contact is when he has a marshal. You've seen him work magic with that. This time he's got the op. Where does he go? I think that if there was ever like an idea with the Viper, it's going to be trying to deny TenZ some space. But it really hasn't been factored.
He got under it. And the
Spike
knife was
down A.
just a bit late.
That's been coming late to see if they're playing close aim in and clear wine if they're not. So you don't have to spend any non-refreshable utility. That's it.
Here.
Just talking about how the first kills have been so instrumental for 100 Thieves. That is TenZ finally finding an opening. And he's floating so much, rotating so much. It's almost a trend. If he gets a kill on one side, he's going to be on the other side of the map instantly. And I think 100 Thieves is understanding that after 3 maps of play.
The paranoia out, and the dash from Cryo follows shortly thereafter. Playing around the wall, playing around the smoke. And now playing up towards the site. So they've established some control here. Stellar making sure there's no flank as Asuna gets the spike down. How much do they re-explore here? How far do they push?
Ooh, look at Stellar going for holding cat. They know everything about what's coming through.
Ooh. Big here out from trees. TenZ gets up top, gets one with the blades. But yeah, here's the fight in tree that I was just mentioning. You don't expect Stellar there.
Not there.
Oh.
They're getting half for free.
Oh, they're gonna get the whole thing for free. Forget about just half opening. Stops it.
Sacy get back on.
Can he get another? Can he get another? Well played, so well played. The turret in the smoke, him in the smoke. You peep that out, and I mean, there's just so much to deal with.
Hey, right. Okay, pANcada did get it. It's the Brazilian duo, man. Whenever they're into 2vx, just got to give it to him. That's great pressure with that lockdown. There's no response really for it. Derrek, remember, he was the guy who went down first. I'm not sure if he had his Hunter's Fury, if it was even going to be a super factor. But then TenZ as well with some heroics. Updrafting with the lockdown.
Right here.
Fast start here coming in from Derrek.
Revealing area.
He's looking for a fast ult, I think.
Yeah,
Zekken. Oh my goodness.
It is. What kind of fancy footwork does Zekken have? It looks like he's going to be able to survive it.
That's a full waste, but he wants to instantly use that so that he could immediately get it back before pANcada gets his ult back on. Even though it could have been a factor late in the round. That could be the difference in ult cycles.
Oh, I was going to say that dart hit. But patience from TenZ.
He cleared a lot of mid right there. I don't think the alarm bot was even... Oh, actually, it definitely was. 2 nanoswarms here, no alarm bot. And caught in an off angle right now. This flash is not going to hit.
Stays alive. So they use the flash to get out into tree. They look for a pick. They give the space back up. And it looks like they want to end up B. Derrek should have his dart back up here pretty soon.
Hey, right about that. Ult's in the B main, so this split is actually real. dephh is going to have a great flash here from Sacy, who also ulted in the back of sight with Zekken.
Getting a little chaotic here. They've been bumping into each other. Sacy still trying to play back side. He's been exposed. They knew exactly where he was. So 100 Thieves get the spike down. They get control of the site. And the question is now, how do they deal with the onslaught of Sentinels as they try to approach this retake from a couple of different angles? They're going to have to deal with the pit, too. Surely he doesn't do something like that.
Oh, Bang has got a shorty on the other side of these smokes, too. Nobody's in the pit, though, with Stellar. Yeah, they're going to save.
Yeah, there's just no way in.
This is looking very brutal here. This attack side. This map has leaned in the past year. Very defensive side. Skewed so far.
Very heavily.
Tango down.
That's still able to get one. That's actually huge.
And they all died. That's big. Yeah, no, that's big. Stuff like that is a way back in late in the half. Where you start to get flawless rounds, where you start to force the other team to save, that's when the bank builds up. And they kept that up. They're going to force into it. Outside of the last round, it's really been all 100 Thieves since the pistol and the anti-eco. They're marking so much on this A side right now. I'm wondering if this knife is slightly different to actually target the KJ.
Possibly. It looks like it may go a little deep. Meanwhile, the op is across the middle of the map.
So that cleared Wine, okay? That's the cue for them. They don't have to spend any utility. They can just go for this.
Oh, the counterflash might have been good. pANcada. Oh, but he just gets spammed through the smoke again. Sacy's still alive, dancing around the generator, but he's got a drone, he's got a target, he's got way too much to deal with. Bang! Finds another. And is this another save situation?
Yeah, TenZ's got the op. I think it might be. I think it might be. He's just not able to, on this defensive half, they're just reading him very well. The only time he's gotten a pick with it early in the round has been A main. And he is trying his best. They're not showing in mid. When they do show in mid, they're being elaborate with the orb. He's getting denied so much vision with that orb.
Oh, he may be in trouble here.
I mean, at this point, the bank is going to start rolling no matter what, so TenZ.
Blows his hand off. And I don't think he's going to be challenged any longer.
Honestly, they probably don't even, at this point, care that this guy is saving an op every round. They're nullifying his impact. I mean, talk about as well, finding him on split, for example. Remember, the common theme I was saying, Derrek is consistently just splashing him off. He's consistently getting droned off the angle, too. It's a similar story here. They are just not walking into his angles.
And it kind of reminds me of what you were saying earlier. It's not like he's been stationary. He's been at the exact same spot every time, and they know to just push away from him. He's been very mobile. He's been attacking different sites, and he still has been evaded.
I think a lot of what is changing here for Sentinels is only the setup for pANcada. There we go.
And the
Deep
crazy,
walk up.
The crazy thing is the timing was just so narrow. He'd been there a little bit earlier. He sees more.
Gives dephh a moment to walk all the way up in tiles. He hears a lot about what's rotating right now. Asuna one off his ult.
You've got zekken playing back site too. How much can he find? How long can he stay alive? How much damage can he cause? He pushes into the smoke, tries to get cheeky, and Cryo's there to greet him. There's the op that we've been talking about, not able to land the shot. Is TenZ suppressed? Tries to work another angle, tries to find some more space. The thing is, you haven't cleared out Bang. And I think as soon as Bang finds out that there's pressure, yeah, he can just play this so carefully.
He's such a menace with those deep smokes on the chokes for him to walk out of.
Player standing.
He doesn't even have to tell himself. And this, I mean, honestly, again, this time Bala, TenZ found an opening with the op. Right, he was able to get the opening pill. dephh was in a really good spot, takes that space, denies info, while gathering a lot of his own. And I mean, 100 Thieves just don't care.
Yeah. I think two things. So dephh going for the flank there, that's like the second time they've gone for a flank. One time it was TenZ who went for it with the op, got himself a kill. But 100 Thieves is doing a great job actually covering up those space. Remember, they don't have a Sentinel. So, ability to get behind him is there. dephh going for it, covered up by Bang. Second thing as well is zekken is struggling when he gets pushed. Over and over, he's trying to make a play into a smoke. Something like that. And normally he's so good on this Sova.
Cover going out.
Often isolated as well, as we saw in the previous round. It was just him against the world, really.
In previous iterations with zekken playing the Sova on Ascent, it's been, with xSet, a more of a floater role, not necessarily committed to this B anchor. This is the first round he's not tethered toward this B site.
He's just spotting mid.
Toxins going up.
A tell of the light buy for pANcada. Can't drop utility there to cover it, so you've got to put zekken there instead. Derrek thinks twice about it. The shot close by. pANcada now understanding there's pressure headed his way. No, he has nothing but a Sheriff. zekken close by. He is 1 point away from having that Hunter's Fury too, but he's got to find a pick. He's got to find a kill. And now pANcada put in the position the zekken was just a few moments ago. And it's going to be difficult to find any semblance of success, and he's not able to do so. There it is, zekken and TenZ, zekken and dephh, excuse me. Get one. Derrek's timing is gorgeous! But Sacy with the trade. It's a 1v1.
Oh, he's going for the res.
He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful! What was that? A fumble, a clutch, whatever you want to call it. Still turns out to be a Red Bull clutch, nonetheless.
What? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I'm wondering if he recognized the spike wasn't planted and that there was 11 seconds left.
I don't know.
He goes back on the rest too, so he must have slipped off of that. That's a huge blunder. I'm not even sure if he had the time to go for it anyways, but that situation certainly cemented his fate. Going for it, looks like a shark attack here. Yep, TenZ, insta dash, dart down mid as well.
There's no one there.
Nobody here, and they're doing exactly the proper counter. I don't even think they even had the info, but they're just going straight into A main. That tends to be a hard counter when you go for these types of aggressive plays down mid, but hey, this is good. 3 players are going to flank up against Stellar.
Stellar's got to be big here. Oh, Stellar doesn't find anything. Now the counter Hunter's Fury used. Cryo swinging around. They haven't cleared out wine. You can tell how 100 Thieves want to set the line of battle further up. They refuse to give up main.
Is there a flash here from Asuna? No.
He's got 11 HP. This is so tough for Derrek. Yeah, TenZ and Sacy able to clean it up. But it's not done yet. It's now 2v2 here. Blades in play for TenZ, and they're good. Can Cryo do this by himself? No, he cannot. The defuse comes through as Sentinels get to 4.
They absolutely needed that. This game was already starting to look very, very difficult and out of control.
Well, but I think it's still concerning, right? As much as we talk about how Ascent tends to be defender-sided.
I got your backs.
That 8-4 doesn't feel great.
Yeah, and now you have a Viper to deal with on defense. Like, that already increases some of your win rate on defense. Insane shots here from TenZ.
That right click from that distance, it's just kind of insane.
You could hear it. That was, yeah. That's TenZ for you.
Absolutely outrageous. An 8-4 lead in favor of 100 Thieves at halftime. We're actually going to throw it down to the desks to see what they think about that first half.
To think about, honestly, because that was it was an interesting half in that, well, at the very least for 100 Thieves, I mean, we got to see Derrek just have fun. It looked like he was having a grand old time out there.
That guy is nerdy.
It just felt like everyone was like clicking out there.
Yeah, it really did. And I think that this is another map where 100 Thieves is showing us the preparation in the preset executes and also in their mid rounds. And I wanted to look first at one of those executes that this team pulled out in round 5, where it was this really fast A main control with a Sova dart and a dash off that KO flash. So you actually see Cryo's looking behind him so he doesn't get blinded by that flash and taking his way all the way into sight. This isn't a particularly special play. This isn't one that 100 Thieves thought of on their own, but it's one that they actioned on really well. And that's what I was kind of surprised by. This half, for me, it didn't feel defined by that Viper and more so just by the mid rounds and the executes that this squad was pulling out for the side of 100 Thieves.
But they've still been able to show as well that kind of like mid-round adaptation as well. This round in particular, we're seeing the tail end of it, but it started off with a bit of that early pressure into mid where they broke down the alarm bot, they broke down that tree control as well, and then they pivoted in the mid-round, adapting into that B hit as well, like that late control of B main. So they're showing both sides of it again. We've been talking about this over and over and over again so far with this 100 Thieves team, and right now they are finding that balance and they are sailing away with it on Ascent. This is a map that in particular can be quite difficult to gather up those rounds or on that attack side, but 8 on attack side, this is looking almost unbeatable. unbeatable, to be honest. If you're Sentinels, I feel like this is such a difficult uphill battle for you now.
Yeah, and I feel like in the second half, this is where we're really going to get to see some of the creativity with this Viper come out. Using the utility to anchor down sites. The orb plus mollies can provide so much stall. So Sentinels are going to have to match 100 Thieves' performance. They're going to have to really lean into this mid-round. Things that give me hope, though. TenZ thus far, he's been playing a really good game. They haven't managed to follow up off his individual performances, but if he can keep them in that direction here, maybe there's a chance for Sacy.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think everyone in the venues also just wanted to see Sentinels climb their way back into this game. They certainly have the tools to do so, but can they do it as we look to wrap up Mat 3 in our first match of VCT Americas? Let's send it back to Balla and Doug.
The question, excuse me, on everyone's mind, very poignantly placed. It's really all on Sentinels. They have the tools in place. Can they get back into this thing? You're going on to the attacking side of Ascent, which statistically and historically is tougher sledding. I mean, really across the board, Balla.
Definitely is. And I'm super interested in how this comp actually fares for 100 Thieves on defense. Not having the Killjoy on B, for example, that one's tough. They're already leaning towards this retake wall. We've seen this before in VCT. And it definitely gives you a lot of room to work with and also room to play behind. I really like the wall that Stellar throws out right off the bat here. And they are cheating forward towards A.
Meanwhile, the spike and 3 members of Sentinels are at B.
My first thought on this defense here, Sentinels has to be using mid. So often you have that KJ alarm bot cueing you when something is happening. They have to be clean with it. They're going to use a dart to clear the bottom of mid, use a knife as well. That gives so much info, but they're coming back over here.
Oh boy.
If Second starts droning, oh.
The fight they made, and now the paranoia, the flash counter, and nobody can see a dang thing! But the kills still go in favor of Sentinels. Can Bang find anything? No, Zekken's back online, man. A rough start to the first half, but an excellent start to this one.
Shock dart is going to be huge. TenZ. Oh, the molly comes in seconds late.
Oh, and he tucks under. He stays alive. Now Derrek with a whole lot to do in the 1v4. TenZ and Sacy both weak, but it's not going to matter. Sentinels win the pistol.
And that's so curious that they win both pistols finally when they didn't win a single one in the entire series up till this map. And they're down the most that they've been.
It's keeping him in the game for sure.
There's so many team flashes here, but Sacy finally as well comes up with the major one. And Zekken comes alive too.
One enemy. You can tell confidence brimming. Again, even with that rough start, to be able to swing out confidently, boldly, take the fight. It's a good sign for the young star.
Standing ahead.
And they have switched the wall into a more mid-control focused one on this eco.
It's interesting here how Cryo plays this. He has no Q, so he doesn't have anything to proc the dash off of. He's just kind of waiting. There it is. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot you can do there.
Yeah. And that's a situation where you might have a turret from KJ normally, where you can cue your dash off of the KJ turret, activating somebody shooting it, something like that.
Right.
Calling down.
Absolutely correct. 100 Thieves as well pushed A main, which we saw them try to do in the pistol, and it did not go well. I think they might be able to get a smoke off on this. Yeah, Bang. Whew. But he spots,
yeah.
spots it. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, that's clean.
Fun to watch Sacy get these taps.
Flawless round coming through for Sentinels. Again, to stay in this fight, to keep this thing up, right? And you know, I mentioned it a little bit in the first half, but something we don't talk about very often. Coming out of a second round after you win the pistol and trying to preserve armor so you don't have to invest that money as well. Just does so much for setting you off financially at a good start.
Yeah, I've been seeing a subversion of the expectation of defensive side and it's on split recently. So who knows, maybe Ascent too. Let's add that to the books too. But first time, if that was anything to go by, the gun rounds where 100 Thieves were absolutely running the game. It's so funny as well. TenZ, we mentioned how he's struggling to find anything with the op on defense side, but he's still 14-8. It's like a quiet 14-8. Just 10 things.
Very pedestrian.
Got him.
Cryo getting an opener. This is now the third round of the half, and very quickly, the third different Viper wall we've seen out from Stellar. This one intended to fight more for B main.
Also gives a pocket close on B main and logs. Nobody's playing there right now, but that's always a threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here.
Stellar, spotting close. I believe you saw a ponytail or something like that. Cryo able to get another one. Second on the round for him. pANcada trading it back, though. The spike just out of reach, but TenZ able to scoop it up. The problem is they still haven't cleared sight. You still have Cryo, you still have Stellar you have to deal with. Oh, well, that's one. But Stellar still alive, backside, still being a nuisance. Time low here, and he's played this so well. Finally drops, now Asuna shows up. It's 1v1, the two young bucks. And with time in abundance, it just feels like an eternity. 15 seconds left, Zekken has the spike. And he is going to be able to get it down. Now Asuna pushing forward, and the timing is gorgeous. Asuna gets the kill and gets the defuse.
That's a tough spot for Zekken to be in. There's really no safe space for him to go for that plant. He can go behind the boxes, but he could be peeking you in. Plant down in the corner, he could be peeking you stairs.
Right.
Gone.
Not many great options, and that box is entirely spammable as well.
Player stand.
So Asuna just waiting for the plant, making the pressure come through on the time.
Big one traded back for 100 Thieves as they keep a 3-round lead. And heavy presence towards A. It seems like once again they want to try to at least see if there's threat across mid.
They're doing what I was saying. So much presence on that mid. Throwing the knife, throwing the dart. Important against a non-KJ comp.
Yeah. Well, and even the smoke too, right?
Yes, yes. Denying the info right now. If they can walk out, that'd be amazing in the situation that's currently as it is. But TenZ updraft dashes with the flashes coming through.
And it's a bit slower from 100 Thieves. I thought they'd want to funnel this out very quickly and try to take this fight, but no.
This is dangerous. Zekken has his ult. He's going to pop it early in tree. Find Asuna. Asuna's gone.
Dead man walking. Had no shot. What else can 100 Thieves do for this retake? They have established control of tree. They don't have any main control. Cryo's already fallen too, so their Star sitting on the sidelines.
I'm looking for a shock volley from Stellar and Derrek, but they just don't have the space. They don't have the material to be able to really do it.
Huge out from dephh there to continue to push.
That was really nice from Sentinels. The denial of info.
Yep.
On mid. So one thing that a lot of times happens when you throw like a smoke like that all the way up to spawn in mid right there, where you're blocking off the jump spot, where you're blocking off the vision of somebody peeking out into pizza. A lot of times you throw that without information that somebody can see it. Somebody could see what's in front. Like, what if somebody's just playing in pizza? But they're throwing a dart, throwing a knife. Everything clears it, and there they can throw the misdirection.
Well, and the interesting thing too is I think it was that utility that caused the late rotation over to the site. They had to keep 2 members over B because of the threat of a push into market or B or anything like that. So it's just little things as just like that utility cause so much doubt.
And they have broken the money, busted the money here from 100 Thieves. You talk about the rotation. It's Stellar and Derrek too, who I think have key utility to try to deny the plant or also be ready to execute with. That dart coming way too late, where all of his teammates are already dead. It's the same thing happening, by the way. Derrek might end up being able to use a dart here and clear back mid. This flash is huge. Nope.
No real challenge, but that's because they've lost tree and they understand there's pressure coming that way. Asuna gets caught with the utility out, somehow stays alive, ultimately to be met with his demise. And now dephh swinging out. The jumping right click.
One enemy remaining.
You gotta love it.
Free gun.
Free gun, by the way. Another round where Sentinels don't drop a single member. That's now 2 in a row.
That's very, very crucial.
So much eye candy and honestly so much discipline from dephh. To see 2 members there and to wait, and then strike. Very well played. Timeout being called here. A close map.
Yeah. Critical. Critical timing here for 100 Thieves on this defense side so far. I mean, they've got to come up with a solution to some of that information denial that Sentinels is throwing out. It's a great call out of dephh. And it's an understanding of the comp. Without this KJ, how do they really get this information? And I think the answer is kind of in Cryo's hands. To be a little bit more aggressive in mid. They're so focused on A main over and over and over. We've seen 3 times now where they've pushed into A main. I think they need to give up on that because of how much counter utility is going out anyways. I mean, on that eco round, you saw the flash come out. They got like 3 people with it, but the counter utility just forces them all back.
Right.
And you're right, the push was coming. But you want to be able to follow up on your utility if you don't have that opportunity. The other thing too is this cat split. This cat split that's coming in, usually you have mollies there potentially.
Right.
You have a lot more tools to deal with it. I think that A main push is a lot to do with how the demise is going right now. 1 round for them on this defense. And we've got a close game again.
Here.
Some key ults as well. Online, Asuna has his null command, but on the other side of the map, I'm looking not at the ult that Sacy has, but deph's ult.
Right.
His 1 orb off. All he needs to do is pick it up. And so many opportunities actually come out here. I think Sentinels right now, they're trying to understand, I think dephh specifically is trying to say, okay, I saw the Viper wall mid. How do we play against this? What are we actually concerned about on this default?
It doesn't seem like they're too concerned with mid, and they probably should be. There are 3 members pushing up from 100 Thieves.
Oh, pANcada confirms that turret is so versatile. Spots people on pushing cat, spots people pushing mid, spots people pushing B.
And again, it's this nuanced exchange of utility. Because of the pressure in, they had to invest a drone to clear out that area of the map. Second thoughts.
It's very interesting right now. dephh did get that orb up, remember, so he has his null command now.
30 seconds left.
And Stellar might be able to get a 25 seconds left. Asuna does the great job of canceling all the hit. And utility coming in.
Time is going to be a serious problem here. There's the ult. Cryo tag stays alive for now. Stellar flashed up as he tries to tuck and cover. Still suppressed. Swings around. Lands 1 in a second. Just on the other side. Hello? Not able to deliver. There it goes. The classic does the job. It's now TenZ and pANcada still have to get the spike in. There's just not enough time. It's going to have to be via kills, and they're not able to pull it off. 10 for 100 Thieves.
There's too much time spent, too much indecision there. Just literally because of that 1 wall put down in mid, that 1 presence that pANcada spots. And all of a sudden they spend, what was it, like 30 seconds walking back and forth in spawn.
I mean, we laughed at it initially, but yeah, the indecision that we saw and go back and forth.
I didn't think it was going to be a consequence because of deph's ult.
Right.
But Asuna does a great job of actually ulting deep and right at the right time. Funny part is actually he was so far back that zekken still could put out a dart, that Sacy could still put out a smoke. But the rest of the util couldn't come through. This drone is finding a lot right now. They know that they're actually playing a mid setup because of the knife getting broken. And there's actually a trap play going off as well. Smokes, flashes coming in towards mid. They completely wipe it, but they give up the B site in the process.
Placing swarm grenade.
Is that going to be enough, though? Ooh. They're down on numbers.
This interaction here, pANcada has his ult. Derrek is 1 off. They cannot give up kills to Derrek within the next 5 seconds. But what they do want to do is push up on the space that this KJ ult gives them.
That's exactly what they do. It's going to allow pANcada to at least tug.
Yeah, but he's by himself. Nobody's coming with him. zekken has a dart. Maybe if they can get the timing right.
How much can he find? A 1 and done. Provides nothing. As Bane clears him out. 4v2 now in favor of 100 Thieves, and it's down to 1. Sacy can do nothing at all. What a response. And there's that Hunter's Fury that you were just talking about, now online.
Stellar was his ult too. What is that shot from Asuna through the wall? I mean, that is just ridiculous.
Let's see if we can get to take a look at it one more time.
Just spams the guy who's literally hiding from spam. And yeah, this dart, slightly mistimed. He marks it up and spams Zekken, who's trying to hide from, I guess, the drone.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And I have to say, a different 100 Thieves, my feeling is, a different 100 Thieves has showed up on Ascent than the rest of the series entirely. It feels like the team play is so much better. Starting from like the tail end of Split, something's happened on that stage where they are really gelling together. Like the 100 Thieves we saw at Champions.
Yeah, very quickly here, it may prove to be inconsequential, but we saw Stellar not able to hit the one-way on the orb initially, then puts the pit down, and that's exactly where they're going. They're going in towards tree. The Hunter Fury could be massive. TenZ the first to fall. Asuna pushing forward off of the space garnered.
That missed one-way actually comes on and works still just as good. Trying to catch the timing on Derrek's drone here, dephh.
I mean, he's tucked. He's tucked and they have no idea. And the thing is, I don't think Sentinels, as far as I can remember, they haven't pushed into the smoke that they've been repeatedly dropping in mid.
There.
Is it expected? Yes, it is.
Cover going out.
That's another instance of Bang's off angles just being so good.
He's unreal, man.
It's his map, 17 and
30
13.
seconds left.
Yeah, he really just seemed to consistently hit a different level on Ascent. Back to the LCQ days, man.
Yep.
Paranoia out as they try to funnel around it. Spam's through, and somehow they managed to get by. They managed to get through unscathed.
Okay,
10
but
seconds left.
we've seen how difficult this hold has been for Sentinels in the last round. pANcada, for example, getting up way too close. Trying to find some way into this round, and Cryo's just holding.
I mean, it's a 5v3.
He's just holding.
Waiting to see if Stellar's the one who takes first contact. Zekken ready for it, waiting for it. No armor, doesn't matter. Kill delivered. Oh my gosh! A 5v3 has turned into a 3v2.
And there's no time either.
This was a Herculean save from Sentinels. Unreal.
Remember, that started by two players falling, TenZ immediately in tree. And then as well, losing dephh on the lurk against Bang. Zekken finds the flank, pANcada finds the space and spawn. Everybody contributed to this. Yes, individual efforts on all parts, but that's what it takes to win a 3v5 like that. And they keep themselves in it. They keep themselves away from fending off match point.
And they deal a blow to 100 Thieves' economy. Bang has nothing but a bulldog. So keep a close eye on that. You see it, they don't have much. In this round, or in the next, really.
Spike retrieved.
Flash over the top, the dash comes through from TenZ, and he just gets spammed right through. There's the bulldog, it seems to work just fine.
Flash from door.
This is where he anchors well. He made a meal here, he made a living trying to anchor this exact site, only able to get one.
Spike down A.
Here.
Numbers still for the defensive side, the spike still not planted.
And with this plan, it's gonna be so difficult. Shocks can come in against him.
It is the Brazilian duo, though. It is Sacy and pANcada. And we saw it already. When it's just them two, they just hit a different gear. Can the chemistry prove to be the difference maker yet again?
His patience from 100 Thieves cost them last time, but no, pANcada falls to Cryo.
The chemistry's just gonna have to be by itself. The dash into the smoke, the spam is there, and he's not able to land it. Derrek lands the shots. The defuse is gonna come through from Stellar. And honestly, we shouldn't be surprised for as good as map 1 and map 2 were. For this to have been the moment that could have been separation, to be as close as it was, it's just rinse and repeat.
The depth in the map pool is where you start to see new teams be separated from old teams.
Yeah.
And while Cryo hasn't been a major focal point for me on this map, especially the defense, he's filling in the holes. And his patience, his style of slow, hold the angles is definitely working, especially late in these rounds.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make, because, you know, not all Jets are created equal, right? Like, you can have a very flashy, very go-in-your-face one, or you can have more of an anchor who just holds space, locks space down, doesn't give anything up, and Cryo does seem to be more of the latter.
You got a difference right in the server of TenZ and Cryo. Sometimes the things that are required of you, though, force your hand. So, for example, for TenZ right now, he is really trying to force space on these executes. And a huge discussion right now. How do you stay in this for 3 rounds? How do you bring it back? dephh, I mean, hands crinkling his forehead there to understand and come up with an idea, come up with a solution. And that one was fast A. And ever since that mid push has started to fail them, definitely feels like 100 Thieves has gotten a beat on the game. They didn't need much on that 8-4 at half to improve on.
Either way, they've gotten to this point. 100 Thieves on series point here. Sentinels confused, try to muse their way back into this. How are they going to continue to get Ascent going? How are they going to get to overtime? And that, I mean, that would have been a disastrous start.
Cryo going on the aggressive potential. If he finds himself an early kill here, he won't. Not going to cheat against the turret, not going to try to bait somebody into peeking him. Not taking risks.
What is Sacy up to over there? Opposite side of the map. Waiting to see, I guess, if there's going to be a flank. Meanwhile, the rest of his team prepares to exec onto B. And you've still got Derrek here with the Odin.
Here he goes. He's going to smoke for his teammate and then try to walk into A.
There's the wall, but the pocket that you were just alluding to, it's a bit too shallow, but they don't check it anyway. He's able to get one, not able to get the second. Did that hit him?
Yes.
And there's no dodging that. But he somehow stays alive and continues to push forward. The flash is gorgeous.
Spike down B.
And Sacy did not commit to the flank. 3v2 now.
Sentinels still have a shot at this thing. With the numbers advantage, can they hold? Cryo with the op. Bang is already fallen. Cryo's gonna have to do it all on his own, and now paranoia in his face. With 100 credits, manages to stay alive. For now. You imagine he just wants to save the op, carry it into the next round.
Yeah, looking at his money, no chance he has enough to get another.
Right.
Ooh. But damage done. It's huge.
Yeah, because the money's not great for Sentinels either.
These two guys should be able to drop weapons in the next. They're chasing, they're hunting. TenZ has gotten deep, but no way you find him on Cat. Zekken might go down.
10 for Sentinels. And they live to fight another round. Again, the money here is so key. I mean, Derrek is 2,500. Maybe somebody can drop for him, but we'll take a look at that one more time. Dude, that was so big, and Zekken was flashed.
Yep.
Fully flashed when he gets the second. I mean, Stellar could have made a meal of that round.
Bang went very fast. There.
Here.
And kind of, you have to. Cryo's got the op, so.
They're playing this real safe on the defensive side. Look at the buy. They still have the op for Cryo, but 2 stingers and then pistols.
Yeah. We've seen this could be a recipe for a thrifty, right? A recipe for an eco. Cryo still got the op. Like, if he just gets with a flash. Oh.
Second's just on the other side.
Danger.
He got tagged. He got spammed. Woo.
And he's still stuck there. He used all of his mobility right now. If they can get a molly in there, something like that.
They're just so far back.
Orb has gotten him out to safety.
Asuna has the ult. He feels the pressure. He can pop it. The paranoia through. He's still patient. Playing in the smoke. The paranoia is there.
They know this is a true hit because of the B push that just came out.
I think he dealt some damage with that spam as well.
Hank's still on the site.
Patience here from Asuna as he still gets a kill. The op shot going a bit wide. dephh able to land the shot onto Cryo. It just seems like they're really set on not investing a ton into this round. pANcada with way too many targets around, and they've still gotten it to a decently interesting spot here. Derrek with the weapon, and Derrek is clutch.
Last player standing.
But he's not clutch enough.
And Asuna 2 HP. Not one of the lucky ones to pick up a Vandal either. That's not great from dephh.
Nope.
Time's
oh
fine.
no. No real way out.
Woo! That was
really close.
Very close. And the damage done, we were just talking about in the prior round, like any kill that came through, that's definitely hurting the economy. I'm definitely seeing mostly Vandals on the side of Sentinels as this timeout comes. An entire series, we've gone the distance. All 3 maps have gone to all rounds of regulation. And right now, Sentinels has another opportunity to pull this to a second overtime in this series. One more chance.
Wonder what's going on in the comms of 100 Thieves as they call this timeout. So close, 1 round away. But the thing is, they've been a round away for a couple of rounds now.
Yep.
And Sentinels have just been... I love that he wears the aviators indoors. Don Wick up there, committed to it. Thank you for those of you who laughed at that joke. 1 round potentially to get us to overtime. 1 round potentially to close out the series. Operator in the hands of Cryo again.
3 ults for Sentinels though, and they're big ones. Asuna's been great at reactively using that no command. Twice he's been able to use it as a shutdown on this defensive side. I'm looking at Zekken's ult can get canceled by that, but the KJ ult cannot. And dephh as well. They're all split right now. This could be a slow hit. If I'm Cryo, I'm thinking, how can I specifically try to target the KJ? Try to target pANcada? There's not very many opportunities given the fact that Sentinels are playing mostly slow. Especially on these B hits, they're never going fast to it.
The spike scooped up. Rotating back B.
Deploying drone.
Derrek just uses drones. They also re-clearing on A main too. 5 seconds on the dart. Looks like what could work here. dephh looking like he wants to hit towards Cat. He's gonna get knifed. That's gonna delay things. With Zekken darting in for him, potentially ulting himself. And then they could pivot that towards B.
This could be huge. It's all about whether or not it lands. If he gets the tag, the Hunter's Fury used, and yeah, pANg has been lit up. pANg is so close to dying, but he in fact gets another. It's Asuna who falls. pANg close by should be able to res him up though, but the rest of the hit's gonna be towards B, and Derrek is there to greet it. Up close and personal, spamming through with the Odin, not able to find a second.
Sight not giving up. KJ ult being used deep. pANg actually ulted into the KJ ult right now.
B was stellar. But is that...
Can they break it?
That could be it. That could be the demise. It does get destroyed.
He broke it.
3v2 here. 10 seconds left. Can Stellar hold it back? No! Unreal! Dude, there's no way!
Switching sides. Overtime.
That is just pure chaos. A good call from Sentinels. They go for the fake on Cat. The ult can be still used towards B, so a lot of suppresses going on. In fact, you can see Derrek was hit by it. And then the lockdown going in a very weird spot.
Down B.
Gives up his life to break it.
10 seconds left.
Dude, how is he so like calm and cool and collected? Outrageous. Overtime on the cards again. TenZ with the operator. Glass cannon in play.
God, it feels like so long since we've seen the attacking side from 100 Thieves.
Dude, okay, this is really cool. I wanted to point this out in the last round because he's done this a couple of times now. Teleports back in towards A main to suggest that he's actually taking Cubby in long to just introduce, again, just this like rough idea that somebody is taking space up. and that just makes challenging A main so much more difficult.
Yeah, combine that with a knife that's clearing wine, clearing close. Little intricacy. Remember, that orb was what was denying TenZ so much. He did go for this glass cannon up. The wall's going to allow them to walk up behind it. They have to drop it to take the next step, though.
Second has dart, and he's close by.
Here comes the dash activated. Oh!
Doesn't find anything. Tries to tuck, tries to get away, while Cryo tries to go in instead. The spam lands onto zekken. TenZ still alive. The second shot misses. How many more shots will he get? 3v3 here. 30 HP for TenZ. Op still in hand.
Another spam kill, too.
Can he make it land? Bang's position here is huge. Yeah, he's got to find value, and he does.
30 seconds left.
But they're going to back out. Well, the thing is, they don't know pANcada's right behind him, and he hears it. He hears a rotating wave. He lands the shots. And it's potential disaster.
Look at him go. pANcada's all the way back over towards Cat. He has his turret back up, which will allow them potential. Oh, he has to run through the molly. He might die. Oh my goodness.
9 HP.
9 HP.
Skin of his teeth. Momentary repositioning to try to get the spike down, and the time was just not on his side. Advantage, Sentinels.
Switching sides. Match point.
This script is ridiculous.
And what a banger. And it's only the first series of the day.
Regulation win for Sentinels on Fracture 13-11. Then 100 Thieves brings us to overtime on Split. They win that map. Then Sentinels brings us to OT on Ascent.
Honestly, I feel a little scammed that we didn't go to OT on Fracture. It's a little scammed.
You guys could have just written it in.
Overtime timeout called. 400 Thieves.
And I know the Riot employees are listening here on first day.
Yeah.
They got the script. There's more Riot employees in the audience right now than fans.
Unreal scenes. I mean, what's the call out of this timeout?
I think for Sentinels, as they move onto the attacking side, we just saw kind of one of the most dynamic calls you can make. And once you start using that, once that starts entering your arsenal, you tend to lean towards it a lot, right? The pivots, the feints.
Sure.
You don't have the ults in this case, though, to close this out. But you could say the same thing for 100 Thieves. So it's a lot harder to call those dynamic calls, right? You don't have as many tools to lean into the fake. But that definitely is something that happens for IGLs once they realize, okay, here's how the rotation is working. A lot of times that creeps in to your mind. If I'm Sentinels, I want to continue with this default and actually force back that mid stuff. But Cryo's going for a glass cannon up, and he's staying in mid.
One suppressed.
Knife only tagged Derrek, I believe. So Stellar's going to be able to toggle the wall up and down.
One thing, remember, Cryo usually has his Viper Orb to fall off in mid for, so he has to play a lot more passive. The Viper Orb's actually being used on the back side of B. Not sure if that's a one-way or if it's just holding so that they can't push into a boathouse.
It's going to be a quiet approach from Sentinels towards A. What's the cue? Also, no pANcada here on this late lurk. You see the flash, you see the dash, but there's no clash. There's no follow-up out from 100 Thieves. Baines is the first to fall, but he was there by himself. deph's able to get a second. TenZ with another. Derrek able to trade it back here. Huge out from Sentinels, and now pANcada is able to cut off the rotations. This seems like a done deal. It's too easy.
The timing.
It's just too easy when it looks like that. pANcada cleans it up. 14-12 in the series in favor of Sentinels.
And it's Sentinels who comes out on top in the Battle of NA. Right at the beginning of the season. Gotta feel good for zekken. Playing against his former teammate of Cryo. I gotta feel good for Sentinels and Sentinels fans everywhere, given the fact how much I think there was some criticism of them in the offseason. And
yeah, there was.
And the fact that they went out and won at lock-in.
Oh, not just that. I mean, you think about that in the offseason, you